I'm muted.
All right. Welcome back to M&A&D&D, episode 77. The Forest has eyes. Last we checked, M&A wandered into the misty forest, totally full of mist everywhere. But they kept their eyes peeled, so they weren't missing any of this action.
Hey!
As it looked as though the Elven community that had kept this as a stronghold for the Sword Coast for so long was attacked. By who? If we've been paying attention, likely the dragon cultists. And
Ew.
a dragon? Question mark. Lots and lots of chaos, lots and lots of hurt elven folk. There was a lot of maneuvering by M&A, and you guys jumped to your strengths. You guys were able to quickly diagnose the problems and see where it is that you guys were able to step up and help. Valen ran around to the most injured as with his quick of foot was able to bring people back from the brink of death, while Astrid mended large groups that are huddled around in like a triage unit close to the base of the main tree of this Alvin Forest village. Meanwhile, the brothers took off, leaving people to die because mystery was afoot.
Yep.
They followed the tracks. They wandered deep into the woods and realized they were ill prepared for what lies ahead. Sensing danger, they came back and discovered that maybe they weren't being told the truth about the goings on and how this attack may have unfolded. That possibly they stumbled upon a little bit of espionage, that there may be a traitor in the mist, in the misty forest. Yeah.
Hey!
Brains dead. Thanks.
Sorry. I was writing.
I like how you're like discovering it as you say it. You're like, yeah.
Yeah. This tracks. So we're gonna pick up from there where we just discovered that potentially a elf had been meeting with a large dragon-like creature.
We would have
Dun, dun,
left.
dun.
So we would have just recently have left as a group the immediacy of the town to found.
Yeah, but you guys are okay.
I'm just saying, like we're not in the town anymore. We're in the clearings we're picking up
Yes.
with X amount of time passed. Okay. So it could have been short. It could have been long. Not sure. And this is and we got diverted by the raven that led us here from the path that me and my brother had previously taken.
Yes.
Yes.
We did not take the exact same path that we took the first time. We are in a different spot.
Well, not probably too far off, I would assume.
General direction we need to head in, though.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like if we were to continue, we could probably find our way back to where we were to go back down towards where the.
Oh yeah, I know where I am.
Yeah. If
Bradford.
we all are familiar with the I guess I'll just ask this question before I jump to conclusions. Does the whole group understand what the footprints and everything mean, or are we just leaving that to one person to like reveal to the group at this point? I think Val is the one that found it. Did he? Are we just saying that we all understand what this means at this point?
Assume he would have told
Sure,
us.
yeah.
So.
Val would have likely explained that to everybody.
Okay. If there is a traitor in the town, there's a chance that they can either one alert where we're going that we are leaving and heading that way, or they could be the main danger that we need to look for. Um, the person we're looking for in general, Valen, you know what he looks like, right?
Um, assuming he maintains the same look. But the
Um,
last time I ever actually met him, it was more than 50 years ago.
sure, but I mean,
But he's an elf, right?
He's an elf. He's not gonna change that much.
Yes.
Was he magical in
Um, I would say yes, but I have never seen him in person displaying any magical ability. But I would
Okay, so
assume he will be magical.
and just to ask the dumb question, you didn't see anyone in the town immediately that looked like him.
No, not that I realized. No.
Okay, so this could be a different elf footprint that we're looking at here, or it could be the main person that you're looking for. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. If we were to head back to town, does anyone have a good way to discern whose footprints these are, or like I mean, other than we walk into town, but then once we get to town, there's gonna be a bunch of footprints. It's
I
almost
mean,
impossible to figure out what they are.
I can transmogrify into a creature and that has the capability to track and without drawing the attention.
Um,
Do we need it though?
I mean, if we're going off smell, I mean, we have Amchu still too. Amchu can still.
That's true.
Does your does Skull have I know we've like flavored a mount, but did we say that he has like
I don't think he has
general...
the same utility as like a familiar.
Well, it's less of a familiar and just a general canine animal. Generally has.
I would leave that. I mean, technically, he is under the category of like mount or steed.
Right, but did he
Well,
have?
He's technically a monstrosity. He's not a beast.
Right.
So I don't know if he would fall under.
It's a direwolf, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Direwolves have.
Yes, direwolves would have keen smell.
Yeah, I mean, I would leave. I mean,
it's just up to Biba of what.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not gonna, because like it's a very specific like box that we've put him in, we flavored him into, so I don't know if he would gain all of the benefits.
Gotcha. All right, I won't worry.
Yeah, I think we had kind of punted that down the road for some leveling.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have Anshu, and Anshu does have the good hearing and smell. If we want to try to do scent tracking, but I mean, all right. Beyond that, do we have another way to?
I don't think I do not have any other resources that I think, other than my just innate ability to track, which is no greater, no less than what I believe. A tracking hound can do per se. So I don't really have anything else that I'd be able to do. Like I can follow the tracks until the tracks can't be followed anymore. But I do not have any magic or anything that can turn back time to show me what happened here.
I mean, I did cast detect magic while we were in town, but I mean, we got general people with general magic items on them. It didn't really show me anything in particular. I think the only thing we'd be able to determine from the detect magic is if they're hiding under an illusion. So.
You'd still have to go and check every single person in the town.
Yeah.
The other thing we can do is we can try and set a trap, see if they come back to this clearing to talk to the dragon or anything like that.
I don't think it's smart to have the dragon come here.
Well, we don't know if the dragon's coming here at all. But we also don't know if this person's going to come back out this way or not. Like, we don't have any information on who it might have been or when their next reason to come out here might be.
Okay. I think the bare minimum, we have Anshu try to smell the smell and get a scent. If we can use that in the future, great. If we don't, then we tried. And then I have alarm. If we want to set like an area that if they walk back into it, at least I would know. I'll get the mental ping for as long as we're within a mile of this space. But it only lasts X amount of time.
Yeah, but if it's only a mile, are we not planning to continue to go towards our destination further into the woods?
I assume
we'll clear a mile pretty quickly.
I assume we traveled for more than a mile, right, Viva?
For this one, yeah, you did travel more than a mile. Currently, like, this hike took you like 30, 45 minutes winding through the forest.
Well, I was thinking, like, if we were to continue following the
you'll have to backtrack some. Enemies. Like, this is not the same. This is not the same path you had been on because that crow raven had led you in a different direction.
Yeah. But to get from town to Spiders was about 4 hours, is what we.
So we had a note in here saying that they'd never gotten close to the city. They're at least 75 miles away, is where their base was. So we were miles away before we encountered any of that stuff,
right,
and then
so
we came miles back.
The alarm only lasts 8 hours, and it only gives me a range of a mile. So unless we're actively setting the trap, and we feel like we can do something on it or act on it, I don't see the value in setting an alarm.
I do not think so, no.
What would be the value? Ooh. What's
the value of even backtracking? Like, we're here to take care of the dragon.
There is we could mark somebody. What's everyone have in their
inventory? Mark them
how? Something they can't get rid of.
Something that? What do you mean they can't get rid of?
So in some shops, if you were to try to take something, particularly like gold or whatever, some shopkeepers have it trapped so that it would spray the person with either a scent or an oil that marks them, so they know that they were a person trying to steal their stuff. We could try something like that, but I don't know. We require us to have stuff in our inventory to make it work. I no longer have my perfume. But if we were to mark them with something that they really couldn't easily get rid of, I feel like that would be the way we would, like a paint or something that won't wash off, mark their clothes.
I do not have anything of that kind on me.
Anyone have some like really tarry
I'm looking
or anything like that? What do you have in your meal prep? Anything in there really stinky?
Alan has some ink.
Nothing that actually stands out in terms of the smell.
You don't have anything smelly?
Oh, I have. He notices that smelling.
No, wait. I have one. No, I have one vial. I have one vial of perfume.
He does. He has a vial of perfume in his inventory.
Yep. So I can. I mean, you guys, if you want to use it to mark the target, I can give it to you guys.
We could use.
I have a pile of melted gold. Is that good enough bait?
Is it still melted?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's solidified in a weird amorphous.
Yeah, it's literally like a glob of gold.
I thought you were talking like
what used
I have
to be
molten gold.
pieces. Yeah, I just casually carry around molten gold.
I was like, wow,
that surprised me.
That's impressive. I can also add some glue to it. I got a thing of glue if we want to add like glue and perfume.
So the question, I know you like your glue. The question is are we do we need to bait the trap? Like this person doesn't like. I don't think that they're here for gold or anything. Mm-hmm. More to meet with, or like they're doing something in this clearing, but they're trying to keep it hidden, so they may come back to it.
I agree.
So if we just lay the perfume trap out, and we can come back through here on our way back, see if it got sprung, and then go looking for whoever, got into it.
We would have to put it where...
The other option is that we can end up going to go find this dragon and end up finding the person anyway.
I mean, based on what you said on the tracks, it looks like this person's actively in... These tracks lead to the town right now, so... Mm-hmm. Most likely this person's in the town. But if we set the trap, we want to make sure we set the trap somewhere that we feel most likely that it
If we follow the tracks back, we'd end up back in the town with all the people, right?
And then once we're there, it's a bunch of elves, so it's not like we can discern.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You want to try that?
Good.
Sure, you can see.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say it.
I know. I mean, what would be we could spring a trap, or we could see if we could just follow the tracks back into town, see if we can follow them. Because, I mean, it was chaotic in town, but this person, specifically, obviously knew what he was doing and where he was going, so you might be able to because the tracks are more purposeful and less chaotic than most of the other tracks will be. Maybe you'll be able to follow them to at least a general area to narrow down our search radius.
It could just lead to a specific point, because DM, did the raven lead us to the head of the trail, or you
followed the raven through the woods that led you to this clearing? This clearing doesn't have a worn trail necessarily. It's not like trees have parted. Here you are. Here's a clearing and then you discovered the similar dragon tracks. You recognize that there's elven tracks here, but you know that those elven tracks track back and forth to the town, to Atlan.
Okay. I'm wondering if we do follow these tracks, if they come up to the back of one of the buildings or something, if this was a secret exit entrance that they, walked out to get here in secret.
Slip in and out.
That if they try to slip in and out unseen, then this would have to be a relatively well hidden entrance. And if we follow it back, we could find that entrance.
All right, I'm gonna ask for details on the town real quick. Is it a town city in the woods where you just kind of walk in and then there's more this is about the town where it's just a large clearing and it feels like there's multiple paths in, there's multiple people walking in and out, there's no dedicated
Question: did you do your homework and watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves like I requested 2 weeks ago?
No.
But exactly. Okay, so what happens is there was a path from where you guys landed into the woods.
Yep.
And that is a path surrounded by these giant trees.
Just a second, that wasn't 2 weeks ago. That was 1 week ago. We were watching. It was with us and Foggy when we were talking about that. Because you said this is the one with Kevin Costner, and Kevin Costner's the worst part about that movie.
Okay, cool. Huh. It would have made more sense for me to reference it 2 weeks ago, but if I referenced it during Alien Resurrection, wow!
It was only me and you that were on that conversation. I was like, you didn't reference that in this movie or in this episode.
We had homework.
Yeah, Foggy's in the chat right now saying, yeah, he totally was. Oh yeah, so I guess that had nothing to do with D&D.
Yeah, it wasn't our homework. It was just something you're like, we should watch that, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch that. But
I don't understand how you could have not watched it yet. But yes, I agree with Viva.
Because
Kevin
there's two Robin Hood movies I've watched.
Movie.
The Disney version and Robin Hood Men in Tights. And I am happy with both of them. I don't think I need to ruin anything else with Robin Hood.
No, Robin Hood is amazing. Oh, because the actor... Yeah, because the actor in that movie was...
Yep.
And I have to IMDb everything. Anyways, totally great movie. The movies are fantastic. The worst part about it is the star, Kevin Costner.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, so... There is a path that led you here. The path on the sides of it have these giant, amazing trees that fly up into the city. Like the canopies above you, you cannot almost see. Sunlight, also super misty. Once you get off that path, it's thick underbrush. It's very difficult to get it. So this is a clear path. The path that you took following the Raven was very much you guys dipping in and over, crawling over branches, going through bushes, and it led you to here. So you're led to believe this isn't a worn path. This isn't typical. Very, very much, if someone were to get here, it's because they know how to get here. This clearing doesn't have like follow this path out, follow this path out, it doesn't have that. You're gonna be able to get back. Likely because of your tracking, but if you don't have a keen sense of direction, you guys could easily just spin in a circle and not know where you're going or how to get out.
Okay. Then I think there is merit in following this back towards the village.
All right, we'll hold off on taking the trap. Well, I'll be on Anshu. He wasn't already out, and I will have him just get a sample.
Okay.
If he can, in case we need it.
Can you roll like a survival for him?
Sure.
He has advantage on these, right? For smell.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be a perception. So, it'll be advantage, and his wisdom is +1. Nope. His perception is +3. Alright, so I'll just do...
So that could have been awkward.
That was not supposed to be added together, so 13... it was a 16.
16. Okay. So, Anshu puts his nose down on the ground. His butt sticks up into there, and his tail strains out, right? And he goes around just... goes around to that footprint that you had seen. And he darts his head up and he looks to the same path, like the same area that you guys had come in on. And he dives into him. All of a sudden you hear it, he disappears, but you hear that and little puffs of like blue cloud as he gives chase.
Nope,
you guys on. Yep, you guys follow suit. And it takes about, I would say about 15 minutes in, and it's a good chase because he just keeps puffing all over until he kind of starts getting like real desperate, and you see him back and forth.
Aren't you find?
And he starts to lose this trail. But you guys, Val knows that you guys are still back heading in the same course. Val, you're the whole time that you've been trailing, it tracks with what you've been thinking, right? Like, you don't need to do a check for this. You're skilled, your tracker, you know you're also heading back to Atlan. But at this point, you kind of lost this path. You've kind of lost the trail.
Okay. And Anshu is currently like just spinning in circles, looking around.
Right, and after a couple minutes, he starts to kind of like whimper, and in that tail that had been pointed, starts to kind of lose its rigidity, and you see it almost kind of start to tuck.
Okay, Alan. Oh, sorry, Alan. Anshu. Just wrote Alan.
Can I take a look around to see if anything looks even like minusculely out of place? I'm like in my mind, I'm wondering if this is where there's a tunnel
go ahead and
entrance.
Yeah, go ahead and do a check.
What would you like? Perception, investigation,
perception.
or
Yeah, it'll be your perception.
Okay.
Starting off spicy.
Damn.
You start to take a look around. There doesn't seem to be like any broken bark. It doesn't seem like someone climbed up. Doesn't seem like there's any loose dirt. There's still kind of heavily the like ground cover and stuff, but you don't see anything. You don't see anything necessarily out of place, but you do notice that the way in which you're traveling up ahead, as you kind of circled out looking for clues, the way you guys had been traveling, you start to see, all right, you believe with your tracking skills that you can continue on that same projection, and you'll pick up the trail.
There's no like excessive fog gathered in one spot that might be hiding anything or anything like that around.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, if you're concerned about that, wouldn't you just use your charges of detect magic?
I don't necessarily think it might be a specifically magic thing anymore. It was just like a well placed like
tunnel,
divot.
cave.
Like if the mist just happens to gather in a specific spot.
I see what you're saying.
I'll turn to the group and say, I didn't find anything else, but I think the path continues up this way. I'll point out to what I've seen.
I don't think you'd be doing zigzags in the middle of the woods if he's on a secret path to a destination only he knows. He's probably taking the most direct route. So,
let's go.
I'm sorry. You said you're gonna check different paths, or you're gonna continue on?
No, I was saying I don't think he would have like taken different paths or made it difficult. I think he probably just made a straight path to the woods once he kind of was on his way. So we'll just kind of continue on the way that we were following on to anyways, between that and what direction Val says is definitely Atlan. So we'll use that to kind of gauge where we're going.
Yep, and then I'll point that out, and I guess we'll continue to follow that path.
Okay, so you guys continue on. Following now Val, but every once in a while, you hear this like this little like chipper little bark from Anshu, as he kind of gains some like a scent. He picks it up every once in a while, and then like desperately starts like clambering through the bushes and stuff, and kind of loses it.
Get out of there! Come on.
But you guys continue on, and before long, you guys are right on the outskirts. Maybe outskirts. You're just right on the edge of the large clearing that is the border of Atlan. Towering right above you is that main tree.
Son of a! I knew it.
The tree in which the triage was set up, where the triage is set up, where Astrid Astrid had done her healing. And above you, directly above, is that platform with this building built in high above you, in the upper parts of the tree, where you had talk to the man now or the elf now in charge, Gallon.
Is this the like backside of this tree? So like this tree is like on the outs or the edge of the border of the city, and it kind of rings around, and we're on the backside of that.
Yeah, so like this would be the tree, right?
Sure.
On the backside, and then this is a lot of like where you guys came in at.
Yeah, makes sense.
And those circles, yep.
And so we'd be back behind your thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you guys want me to? I can put onto. I can dismiss him for a second, until we are in an area we want to investigate, or do you want me to leave him out for right now? Which way do you think would be best?
Anchu's not very big. If we need to go anywhere, you can just carry him, or you can dismiss him when.
It's not a size thing. It's more of a like, is he gonna pick up more sense, or just be like very much like this is still like locked in his scent that he's.
I don't know. You're familiar.
I haven't tried this before, so.
Okay. Do you want to help me, Liam? See if there's anything at the base of this tree that.
See if maybe somebody climbed up the bed.
Yeah. Sure. Did they climb up? Is there a secret door here? Like what? What are we doing?
Do you want me to do an investigation check, Viva?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help him.
Advantage. 31.
Okay, what are you investigating?
We're looking to see if there was we're investigating the base of the tree. We're trying to look for any secret paths, like out of the tree, or any secret entrances, or any way that would be from this tree that someone would just like discreetly come down and into the woods that we just came out of, right, David?
The brothers start to take a look at the base of the tree, where there are these like kind of pulley systems that you can use in order to raise and lower. Those are public. They're visible. They're out in the open, and it seems to be the only way up and down to this city above. There seems to be the only way for someone to get up from there is to use these very public and open pulley systems to get down. But at the base of the tree, the path that you guys came in on, you do detect that there had been like, it's not just tracks, like shuffling of feet, like someone had dipped. Someone definitely hid behind this tree and was able to use the cover of the biggest base tree, this large, huge trunk, to dip into the forest. It doesn't seem like it's been widely used. It doesn't seem like it's recently been used by multiple people. But between the two of you, you do realize that that maybe a single individual was able to slip into the forest using this giant tree as like its cover.
Is there a pulley on the backside of it down?
No, there isn't.
There's not a pulley on the backside of it down. So they had to come from one of the other sides to get, and then slip in and then go to the back, or to go out. I mean, that's what I'm kind of concerned about, is like, do we just assume we investigate what's at the top? I mean, one of the buildings at the top of this tree, or I mean, someone could have just walked to this tree, just used this cover from any of the other places in the town. Is the only thing.
Can you tell where they go from there? Or is that kind of where
I mean, if it's shuffling of
devolves
feet, if
into
it goes,
chaos?
yeah, that's why I assume it devolves into chaos. Everyone has elven feet in this town, and you know we're going through a heavily trafficked area. It looks like at this point, Viva, cut me off if I'm interpreting this wrong, but if I assume at this point right here, we're turning at the base of the tree. It looks like there's definitely at least one person that we're probably looking for.
Yeah.
He's the only person that trends this path that was using this to hide behind the tree and then go into the woods that we came. But other than that, I'm not sure we can follow him through like the chaos on the main thoroughfare. Oh, if Anshu could smell him through the crowd of feet, that seems like it's a very wishful thinking. I feel like he would only be able to identify them if we like got him into like closer proximity or like in the room or like verifying a person. I think like those are the situations we're looking for. It would have to be less chaotic. Jalen, you doing all right there?
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I mean, we lose the trail. At least it confirms our suspicions. And Anshu has at least a scent, so
well, the other
maybe
thing
we take care of things outside the city and then come back here and sniff literally people out.
Sure. I mean, there's a high likelihood that he uses this path again. If he doesn't,
we can still go back and lay the trap if you'd like. I'm just saying,
right?
like,
we can lay the trap here.
I think it'll get triggered by somebody else.
It doesn't look like many people come behind this tree right now.
But it's still more likely for somebody to randomly show up back here in the city or in the town versus at the clearing.
Fair enough.
Or somewhere randomly along the path to the clearing, because we know they take that path.
All right. Well, let's just head back the way we came.
Head back the way you came. In what sense?
Go back to the clearing where the dragon met down, I guess. If we can't determine a better way to sniff out the culprit here, the imposter.
I just think, walking around trying to find, like, it would be different if the tracks were really clear as to, like, oh, they snuck into this random house in the back and there's like chipped bark where he climbed up the tree or something like that. But I mean, I think at this point we just move towards our overarching target.
I can't believe out of all the transmogrified animals I can turn into, there's no wolf.
You can turn into a wolf.
There's no.
Yeah.
Is there a wolf?
Wolf is.
It's a dire wolf, right?
No, he can turn into a regular wolf, or, I mean, he's just turning into anything that's has the moniker of a beast.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anywho,
if you are only looking at the group under your extras, that's just a curated group that I made for you.
Oh, that's why.
Because you gave me a list, and I put that list into your thing. There are a lot more things you can turn into.
Got it.
Yep. But a wolf's just gonna have keen smell and hearing like Anshu does. But even once you get to town, it's gonna be difficult for you to. Still gonna be difficult for you to suss out like individual smell across like.
That's true.
As you guys kind of are still gathered at the base of this tree, figuring out your next move, you hear kind of a commotion coming from from the triage in front of this giant tree, kind of like around the base. And as you guys take a look, they've started to gather the fallen. They've started to kind of like sort their dead and place the victims of this attack in a row, and they laying on the ground, kind of laid out in these nice rows, are the bodies that are now covered in this linen. You see the mourning elves of Atland lying kneeling next to, standing over, hunched next to their fallen, their loved ones. You hear the the wailing and the wallows and the sorrow. Some of you recognize a few of the elves as they're the ones that you had previously healed. Kind of stood shoulder to shoulder with during those healing processes, during that chaotic minutes of you guys rushing in and lending aid. Gathered next to a fallen female elf is Galen. Crouched next to a woman kneeling. Some of the more regal and noble elves standing next to him with their hands on his shoulder as he mourns the loss of someone who's obviously been dear and close to him.
Going to, before we approach anybody, I'm just gonna whisper to my brother, hey, if we're gonna talk to anybody in this town, just maybe have the tech magic running again. I just want to know if we have anyone that we're speaking to that's an illusion. Awesome.
Okay, I mean, that only lasts a little bit, but
might last long enough.
Are we staying here and looking around here, or are we going?
I'm just saying, if we end up talking to anybody in town, just, keep that in mind. Maybe we'll just have that running just to see if anyone's running with an illusion.
Yeah, I'll try.
If we decide we're going to be staying in town, I can also start casting it, but it takes me 10 minutes to cast.
I don't think it's productive for us to stay in town.
I think we have a dragon to go hunt.
Yeah.
And that's fine by me. I was just going off of what options we had.
Who was the if we can track down the ladies that used to help us, that was helping us, I think at least we can relay the information to her.
We don't know who.
We can't trust if she's not also the person that's causing the issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the best thing we can do right now is to go figure out.
Moving forward. Okay, was the dragon and everything? Sure.
Yeah,
Before we go,
they need their time.
100% of the town elves.
Oh, yeah. As far as you can tell, this is a strictly elven community.
Okay, so and if the footprints we saw match like elven make and size, then it's going to be impossible for us to discern, unless it was like in a high heel or something. It's going to be impossible for us to like discern who it was versus everyone else in the town, unless we want Cinderella it, and that'd be really difficult.
Did they have a peg leg?
Yeah.
Was it just like a nub and then like a foot, nub, foot, nub, foot?
It was like a 2-prong nub.
Oh.
Very oddly specific.
Yeah.
No.
It was Jenkins.
All right.
But yeah,
I think we need to go hunt down a dragon.
As long as there isn't a dwarf or someone that's like clearly not that would fit that spec that we could talk to, then I don't see any point in like doing that.
Astrid, did you have any suspicions? I mean,
no. Emily only has suspicions. Astrid doesn't yet.
What if I were to tell you you're the same person?
All you said was you come back to the same big tree that you guys were at before. And she goes, I knew it! And all I thought was she was really suspicious of that tree.
The tree did it.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm suspicious of Galen, but
oh my god,
we'll see.
Now that makes sense.
You didn't catch that the first time we talked to him?
He literally was like, "Oh, do you actually think we should do something about this?"
He was being really, really remissive.
He's also MIA for
just really dismissive. Yeah, I know.
Well, if you want to talk to Galen real quick, we can see if he's under an illusion like spell because we didn't check with him with that before.
I think it's gonna do more harm than good.
What, to find out if he's on
I think our accusations need to be a lot more concrete. Because he's in a very powerful position right now. And if we just bust out of the woods when they thought that we had left already, and we just bust out of the woods and be like, "You're an imposter, you did this," everybody's gonna be like,
as he's in the middle of this mass grave mourning.
Yeah, we're those people making the scene at the funeral.
Yeah, no.
This is why we needed you in the group, M, because old M&A would 100% already murder this man in the middle of this.
But we wouldn't have known the details that you're pointing out. We would have just done it.
We'd have just done it and then asked, I hope this was correct. No. Okay, so now you guys are going to take the opportunity to... So are you guys going to head towards that clearing, or are you guys going to go on that initial path?
Trap, then go back to the path that me and Val were following originally.
We just the general direction. We don't have to take that specific path, right?
I mean, it's faster to
theoretically no, but we
Val knows how to get back and forth from there at this point.
Yeah, I know how to get back and forth.
That works.
The thing is do we want to set a trap along the path for whoever goes back out that way?
As long as
which I think has merit. And then we can just take from wherever we are, we can just get back to the other path that we were on and follow the enemy forces back towards their camp. Which is what we were initially doing.
I will say this about wherever we set the trap, and if we want to do this, start stepping away from where we were and start walking down, just so we're not just standing behind this tree. But wherever we decide to set the trap, we need to say it with a higher than likely chance of confidence that this is a place where that person is going to cross or be or stand or something that will trigger the trap. So putting it on the path needs to be, it would make sense if we're putting it on a path if it was a very walked path or a guaranteed he's going to walk this way path, but not one if he's just walking through the woods and sometimes he goes right on this tree and left on this tree, right? So that wouldn't work per se, but if he was guaranteed to always walk in this ravine there, so if there's no path, then it's hard to say put it in the middle of the woods. We are guaranteed he's gonna walk through it, versus in the clearing, if we know he's gonna come out of these two trees or this general area and he's gonna come over here that's closest to the things, and at least then we know it has a high likelihood of hitting our target that we're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
Who?
David.
Nope.
No.
I'm good.
That's what I thought we were doing.
Yep.
Alright, so I guess we'll just do that.
Yeah, we'll just head back. I'm assuming Val knows how to get there.
Yep. I do.
So you guys follow that path again. Anchu does again, kind of perk up, snip and bark and stuff when he catches that scent again. It's now that Val's kind of picking up all right, yeah, we're both on the same page here. But Val's 100% the one that leads you back to the clearing. You get to the clearing. just has this giant ring of trees on the outside and this large clearing in the middle. It's there again where you see the footpaths made by an elf. So you have like a general, it came from the direction that you just came from. It generally came in and out of the trees at this point. It's here where you decide now this is closer till dusk that you guys are gonna decide how it is that you're gonna approach this. And as you guys kind of discuss what's happening, the mist starts to set in. And the light starts to kind of close around you.
I'll assist my brother in setting a trap. The stuff I have with me, I can use some of these tools on it if he needs anything for like small, delicate pieces for like a hair trigger or something. But I assume my brother would have an idea for creating the dispersal of it. We're gonna have to use probably all of Valen's perfume, unfortunately. Sorry, Valen.
Go ahead, take it all you want. I have no use for it.
It already smells great.
So can we just do something like a tripwire pressure plate in like the most advantageous place, because getting into the nitty-gritty of the 3-hour physics debacle of how to set up a trap, rather not. But essentially my idea is to set up a tripwire or pressure plate in the most advantageous spot where he will likely walk past a tree, and on the edge of the tree where, so like if this is the tree, on this end, if you put the vial and like a small little hammer, so that like when he hits the tripwire, it smashes it and disperses the perfume into a wide area, so that he'll essentially walk through a perfume cloud. Or if it just spritzes him as he walks by, I don't know, whichever I can do.
I think we want to use as much of it as possible so you can't just wash it off. So I think your first option would make the most sense.
But essentially, I'm trying to make it.
I also have some boom boom rock if you want to use anything for like an explosive.
No. Actually, like put like a tiny itty bitty little bit, like the smallest speck of it on the end of the hammer, so when it hits, it detonates and then disperses the perfume.
Aerosol that baby.
Yeah, the tiniest little bit of it.
Oh, I thought we were going a lot darker with that.
Yeah, and then he blew off his leg. I thought we were blowing off limbs here.
Landmine. We're gonna start a landmine. We're blowing off his leg. That way we'll know who it is.
I'm pretty sure this is like you just see an elf like call out and like we got the guy
who has a peg leg after this trap.
If he doesn't have one now he's gonna have one soon.
He must have a peg leg one way or another.
Oh my land.
All right, so that's the idea. That's what I'd like to try and set up. What would you like me to roll for?
You're gonna do your survival.
Okay.
Tinkering check.
There actually aren't tinkering checks.
It's a weird thing. I know.
That's a pretty good tinkering. So you're able to what you're able to come up with this tripwire and your test on it. It actually shoots the perfume out like at a good little range. Like you set it up high enough where it kind of like misses out for like a good 15 feet.
Damn.
Real faint, but the second it goes off on you, kind of just like he starts kind of like bounding around, and you're able to tell that it's had a good little spread to it. With that in place, you guys are going to take cover, or are you guys going to set up something?
Oh, it's evening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark.
Do I get the sense that anything's approaching? Do I hear dragon wings on the wind?
You do. In the distance.
Seriously?
Wait, like legit?
Like,
In the
actually?
distance, you do hear
Oh, the dog.
Oh, good. He's coming to us.
I'm sure it's not the raven.
How long do we have?
There is an impact, and you almost
Fucking hide.
through the course of this, you almost see the mist kind of like.
Oh no.
I was joking, but I'm actually okay with it.
Oh,
T-Rex
no.
situation.
Oh no! Oh no!
It is
no,
almost
no,
as if
no.
the atmosphere moves, but it's subtle.
If I pick up on this and I understand what's about to happen, I will inform the rest of the group and tell them to hide.
What you pick up on this is that there is a dragon within miles of you.
Oh. He's not coming to the specific spot.
We don't know. Do we?
So there's only one spot that we know that he can land in this area, and that's this one.
It is within miles of you. But the way that this mist moves, the steadiness of and repetition of this beat tells you it's far. But it is very large. Very,
Cool.
very large.
Good.
As it is sending out waves of air pressure that is moving this mist miles from where you're at.
Valen, get the dome ready. Let's get it over there.
Is there a climbable tree around?
All of them.
What dome? You're talking about a hut?
Yes. Let's get the hut ready.
Okay.
No, but is there a climbable tree around?
There's
All the trees are climbable. You are standing in in the middle of the redwood. Like you have a clearing in the middle of the redwoods.
Well, redwoods don't have a lot of brain. Okay, never mind.
You're also like a really good like athletic person, and you have climbing gear.
To climb.
We all have you have climbing gear, so you have
to climb the tree.
A
tree.
So
a tree.
athletics roll.
Well, so
I want to climb a tree
you guys
that
don't
looks
want
like
to
I
use
can
the
poke my
hut.
head above the.
I want
the
you to
leaves.
use the hut. Yes.
Astrid's climbing a tree, and,
Okay.
and Liam
I'm
is like,
climbing a tree too.
set the hut.
No, don't. Why are you climbing the tree?
Chaos crew.
Just set the hut.
Val
We'll be safe
sees
inside
her
of it.
climb a tree, and she's like,
Fine, I'll use the hut. Fine.
We could be safe inside the hut.
I'm still climbing a tree.
Val's gonna stay outside of the hut for now, ready to climb a tree.
Valen has to stay inside the hut, and that's it.
I just want to pee. What do I?
All right, I
Is it
cast
athletics to climb the tree?
Yeah.
Okay. Please.
Okey-dokey.
Will a 13 get me to the top of the tree?
A 13 will get you halfway up the tree.
I will roll again.
I'm not gonna be far from the hut, but I'm gonna find a tree near the hut.
Okay.
And I'm going to hide, and I'm going to be able to whisper to Valen, but I'm going to have an eye on the clearing.
Are you still re-rolling? Because halfway up a tree is like 25 feet.
Okay, so you get halfway up the tree, and then I realize I have the boots of flying on. And so I activate the boots of flying and just kind of like drift up to the top and just kind of poke my head.
You have this like beads of sweat and stuff coming down, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
So you
And
soar
I'm
up to the
gonna, like-
canopy.
Yeah, I just want to kind of like peek out of the canopy. I don't want to like burst through the leaves or anything.
As you approach the top of the canopy, that mist becomes thin as it kind of like rests also at the top of the tree line. And way off in the distance, you see the sun setting.
Okay.
And it's then you see this shadow black out the sun real quickly as it circles back around.
Block out the sun? I'm sorry. Fuck. Okay. Where? No, that's a stupid question. No, it might not be a stupid question. Does the sun still set in the same rise and set east-west?
Science is canon, so it always sets in the west in this campaign.
Okay. So, well, I only asked because, like, I just wanted a general.
I've never had to.
The sun
we
sets
don't.
in east to west, but the world is definitely flat.
Got it.
Yeah, we don't actually know, but since long ago we had an argument where we decided science is canon when it fits.
Okay.
All else files science is canon.
Okay. Cool.
We have a north-south spinning planet.
So, is
the whole thing's is a wobbly dish. It's just like, fucking who knows?
No, it's a dish on a spoke, and you spin it this way.
Right, but then it's a dish on a table that's like starts losing the momentum, and it's just like flapping around.
That means there's points on the dish that doesn't like ever have change in light.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you just turn around and then
that's avarice.
The shadow fell.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Those are different planes of existence. Who knows?
We're dumb.
What a bunch of nerds. We're dumb. He says. Yeah. So what do we do? Okay, so you're up there and you just seen the sun black out.
Got it. Okay, and it's just flying circles, from what I can gather.
From what you gathered, it is circling around.
Okay.
How long do you want to be up there?
I mean, until I can get a general idea of what it's doing, but not. If it starts heading in my direction, I'm not gonna hang around.
Okay. So Astrid's gonna stay there with her head peeking over the canopy, trying to track this large moving beast.
Think like this.
Yeah. Yeah. You're totally like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a person who doesn't want to get on Discord.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
the true lurker.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, below, what is everybody doing?
Keeping an ear out. I'm near the base of one of the trees, probably the base of the tree that she went up, but also like near the hut or near Valen casting the hut. It takes him a minute to do so. But I'm not jumping anywhere quite yet. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go hide.
I'm gonna say over the next several hours, you guys are gonna experience moments of like sheer terror as that beating, as that flapping of that pressure increases and then dissipates. There'll be moments where Astrid, who's peeking into this thing, panics and ducks down as this thing circles around.
What's the maximum fly time you have on your boots?
She's not flying.
She flew up there, but she's now in the top of the.
Like
yeah. She's not just hovering, Iron Man style up there. My understanding is what I understood.
Yeah,
you flew to get up there, and then you okay.
No, it's just taking the easy way out.
But now the sun has set.
Oh.
Astrid's unable to track with sight this beast that keeps circling. Down at the base of the tree, Val grows concerned as you guys can no longer see the mist fluctuate with the flap of the wings, but he understands that there still is danger afoot. Visibility becomes increasingly difficult. Astrid, I would say it's almost pointless to be up there. I don't want to say pointless, but like your visibility is almost zero for you now.
Well, unless he's like within like I think it's 120 feet, and I don't want to be that close. So,
right.
Would I have been able to see anything? Like how close when he was getting close? Like how close was he before the sunset?
He was still miles away from you.
Okay. So I wouldn't have been able to pick out anything other than like he's friggin' huge.
Yeah, I would say if you were a betting person, you know what you're dealing with.
Okay.
I thought you were the one person who didn't know dragons.
No, I don't know dragons at all. I know lots of other things, not dragons. I think that's partially why she climbed to the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to like keep it like she's really good at a lot of things. We're all like, I don't want everybody to be like, we all know dragons. It's a dragon campaign.
Jack shit about dragons.
My understanding is you've already told the group this is like the village has told you we're dealing with the dragon.
Yeah.
The council has told you you're likely dealing with the dragon. All evidence that you've seen has told you you're dealing with the dragon. Your ranger, tracker, confidant, Harper, bestie has told you this is likely what we're dealing with.
Harper trainee, thank you.
No, I did. Oh, did I say Harper training? I didn't say Harper training. I said
no. I was calling it Harper trainee because
you are okay.
That's what I am.
Okay, cool. I want to call you that. Harper trainee, junior Harper in training, has told you what you're likely doing.
About it every time around to ask for it.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Baby junior Harper trainee has told you that likely this is what it is. And so even though you're inexperienced, even though you're not an expert in this, you saw something.
Yeah. Large.
If it flaps like a dragon, if it roars like a dragon.
It's probably a duck.
It's a duck.
It's probably a flying duck. With jagged teeth.
It's a huge duck.
What the duck?
No, I was more of like, did the sun glint off its scales and I got a color? You know, not trying to.
You said it blacked out the sun, so you're in the wrong side of it to see that.
Yeah. Well, it flew around, so. Okay. Yeah, once it gets dark, I'm out.
Okay. So you hustle back down this giant tree. You find what? What are you all doing?
I mean, if we all realize it's nothing imminently happening, I think we'll leave one person outside the dome and everyone else inside the dome to start
taking turns to rest.
Yeah, start the rest process. Person can be inside the dome, but it might be easier for them to monitor things from like closely outside the dome. I'm not sure. Up to the person who wants to.
Okay, who's taking first watch?
I can.
Or Miss Astrid up in the tree.
Yeah, I can, since I'm already chilling.
Okay. As you guys kind of like start to communicate, who's taking first watch, you hear this psst sound.
Did the trap go off?
As Anshu.
No, Anshu would have been
dissipates.
Dispersed.
Nope.
No, I would have dispersed them as soon as the dragon showed up.
Shh. Hold on.
He said shh.
As Anshu jumps into where the trap is and starts barking.
Oh, fun. In that case, this will be fun. Let's see. Hold on, before I say that. Yeah. I will point in that general direction and cast Hold Person.
And you hear this.
Well, they have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Your DC.
15.
Nice.
God damn it.
What's your wisdom modifier?
Yeah, what's your wisdom modifier?
You guys.
Saving throw, so you could add
nerds.
Wisdom.
Come on, don't you have stat blocks for every single NPC ever made, so that in case we have to fight them and kill them, you know how many stats they have?
let me see if they made this character.
If they didn't, there's standard stats in the back of the DM's book. I think it's DM. It has standard ones.
This is why I love my D&D group, because I could have just given it to them, but they're like, nope.
I don't want to be.
Wait, you're not gonna
Make
give
us
me the
work
same-
for it.
You didn't say.
Make us work for it.
He rolled a 13. He doesn't know what he has to add.
If it's a dumbass person who has a negative wisdom, you're probably okay. If it's a normal person, they probably failed. If it's anyone like with a 14 or
hey,
higher,
so what is that? What is the elves?
I'm looking on. Hold on. Elves don't have a guaranteed plus on their wisdom. Nope, that's in monster manual. Maybe
Google it.
Is this just a monster manual? Look at the back of the monster manual and pick an NPC character. Literally Appendix B.
So
Manual.
They're also close to like being the same thing, and it's like go to the back of this book. Nope, go to the back of this book. Yep, there it is. Pick your NPC that you think is the closest to.
Yeah. So what am I looking for?
An NPC, and then you can look at their stat block for a wisdom save or a wisdom.
Is he a wizard?
So what do I need to break?
A 15.
A 15.
Boom.
is it exactly a 15?
Yep.
Oh, booty cheeks. Okay.
But that doesn't keep Anshu from barking.
I'm assuming the rest of us hear this at this point.
Yeah, I would probably.
You guys are gonna hear it, but now
You
guys are gonna be.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be several feet away. As you hear like the snapping of branches as someone starts to dart back through that path.
Ooh.
Anshu barking on his way.
I'm going to. If I can go, I'm going to dimension door.
Yeah.
Like in front of him. So like I don't know where he is. I'm gonna go from where I am. I know where the path is. I'm gonna just dimension door.
What's your
500 feet is my range.
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't have to see it. So I'm just gonna dimension door 100 feet in front, down the path.
Okay.
And then see what I can see. If I don't see him, I'll.
Like a match bursting into flame and then quickly dissipating, leaving this sulfuric smoke behind it. You find yourself 100 feet into the deep woods as someone darts past you.
Oops.
Oh wow, he already made it that far. He's over here, and I'll call out, and then I'm going to, I'll stay with him in pace and with movement and dash.
Okay.
I already used my action, so I can't grapple him or anything yet.
Probably too gross for Skull to navigate.
No?
Oh, can I jump on?
So?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know. We could ask Viva. Would Skull be able to get like through all of this, or is it too like congested? Because you said it was thick woods.
Skull, like this is Skull moves through this like a butter through knife, I would assume.
Through knife.
Yeah.
Through knives. Wow. Which means Skull's gonna die.
I love it.
No.
I will jump on Skull.
Take that butter.
Good night,
out,
everybody.
Go right through those
Good-
knives.
Good night, everybody. It's been fun. See you next week.
I can't wait for our next
through
combat
knife.
encounter.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
bring out my butter against their knives.
Well, it's
Go right
canon.
through you.
Butter beats knives.
Bailey is so set right now.
It's like
We just made Terry OP. He's just gonna be like nunchucks made out of butter.
He's gonna have like butter grenades that he just starts chucking at people.
I know. It's like, dude.
No, not margarine. No.
Dude, slingshots with those little tiny tabs of butter, like right to a dragon's face.
Used to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fantasy campaign have guns? No, we shoot supersonic bullets made out of butter.
No, but cholesterol is a fucking killer.
Oh man, I can cook you to death with my butters.
All right, so you jump on. So you're coming down from the tree and jumping on Skull.
God, I want to change her name to Miracle Whip now.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
That will okay.
50
Remind me when the campaign ends. When you guys land that final shot, I'm just gonna be like, I can't believe it's not butter. That will be the death phrase.
I'm gonna write in my notes now.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, when they finally take Astrid out. Oops.
True. Nice.
Listen, I know.
What?
I know
Never
you're
mind.
trying to murder me. Please.
When they killed the
point
secret
obvious.
boss, Astrid.
Question: Is this considered?
Initiative?
No. Is this considered hazardous terrain?
No.
Running through the underbrush.
I wouldn't say hazard. It's difficult.
Or sorry, difficult terrain.
Yeah.
So that means everybody's moving at half speed.
If you're on foot, running through it, it's half speed.
And then
30 feet. Okay, so it's easier to be. Got it.
give me a second because I want to make sure I don't have anything that does stuff for this.
But yeah, I will drop from the tree and get on Skull and take off.
I would say, if you're riding Skull,
Yeah, it's
you would
50.
be able to like maintain speed.
Okay. Because I'm assuming he's not being stealthy, crashing through the woods.
Oh
So
no!
just
Now it's an
follow
all-on
crash.
chase, right? You just see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anshu's barking. Liam is like bamfing.
Okay.
Terry's just waking
I
up.
should be in pace with him because I use my movement, so I'm running next to him.
Right.
I guess
Terry can't leave the hut unless.
Well,
unless he
at
wants
this
to
point,
dissipate it.
Yeah.
If I leave the hut would just be gone.
Yeah,
Correct.
I mean, if we're giving
Exactly.
chase, you can give chase with us. I would.
Okay.
Or you can always cast
All right.
another one because you're about to get your. Ideally, you'll be
Rest.
getting your rest after this.
No, it's okay. Let's go.
I'll jump on the broom and do dash as my action and go 100 feet on the broom.
I would say because you're on the broom, you're able to. What's happening for you on the broom is very much like Star Wars, where you're flying through the trees on your speeder bike.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're not losing speed, but you're darting,
That's fine.
and it isn't long until you whip that back end around, and you're face to face with this elf.
I have the dragon mask on
Spoopy.
as I face him.
You're the tail end of your broom kind of like sticks up in the air, and you're looking down, flanked by your brother now, who comes up behind. Here comes this smoke, dire wolf, with Astrid, on its back, and you guys are now surrounded. This cloaked figure.
Neat.
You hear this moment like, damn it. And then this yapping. Yep. As
Good
Anshu
boy, aren't you?
poof, poof. And he starts like nipping at the cape, nipping at the heels of this elf.
Oh, we definitely need a Scooby Doo reveal.
He pulls back the hood.
Old man Withers.
And there in front of you is Galen.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how you and I were the only two who recognized that last session.
Listen, I'm just happy. No, I'm not happy because like it's a bad guy, but like I'm happy because like
you picked up on
dude. That sneaky dude. This is Emily. Astrid would not lose her shit over this.
You don't understand. There wasn't an option. I didn't have any choices. There's nothing we could do. Atlan was going to be destroyed regardless. And even when they said they would spare us, they came in, they attacked everybody. Killed my wife. Leave this place. Doomed. It's all doomed. We're doomed, and if you stay here, you're doomed.
Insight check him. I want to make sure that he's... Because currently my thought process was this guy is definitely like the Dragon Rider, and he's the guy Nerovane that we were looking for. And that's where I was leading. I could be completely wrong, and that's fine.
That's what I thought too.
But if this guy, if I'm off, and he's just a guy who was in a bad spot and had to do something that he did betray the, like if he seems like generally remorseful versus like he's just trying to like cover his tracks kind of thing.
You lean into him a little bit. You demand answers, and he drops to his knees. Clutched in his hand, you see a necklace. He bows his head and just in absolute defeat.
What were you doing in this clearing?
I had met with Truth. And I had promised if I had to give him the locations of some of our other Alvin villages that he would leave us be. But that monster there's no value to his word. He picked us apart, he came for us. And he murdered my beloved. I watched on the field of battle as he decimated her body. There's no place in hell worthy of what I have done.
Didn't really answer what you're doing here.
Came to confront that monster. I came to tell that beast what a total piece of shit it is, and that for whatever sake there is left, that it won't get anything left out of us.
How did you plan on calling for it here?
No, I was gonna be here. I was gonna stay here. However long it took. In all honesty, there's no communication I have with it. It 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 pried on my vanity.
Well,
It promised me glory and it recognized the weaknesses inside of me. I understand that now. I wanted to be the leader of Atlan. I wanted that glory and that pride to have that nobility. Fucking recognize that in me. It had me betray everyone I hold dear with the promise that I would have glory. But look, what am I going to rule over nothing? It was never its plan, never its intention to let us be. And I gave it everything. I let it know everything. No elf in the entire Misty Forest is safe.
Is he planning to attack one of the other towns?
I think that might have been what he was doing earlier.
They're planning on decimating it's total warfare. It is annihilation.
Why come here? To confront something you know you can't confront instead of going to your fellow elves. At least attempt to atone for what you've already done.
I guess even in the end, I haven't changed. I guess even when all the chips are on the table, it's me being just an egotistical piece of shit that think that I can sway a dragon. I can't subject those people to. I can't rally them to their deaths, but maybe in the end, I'm a coward. Maybe in the end, being consumed by that beast is easier than dying alongside people that trust me. And I have to see their despair. I have to see those final moments. Maybe it's easier for me to come out here into this clearing and beg for my life. Because truthfully, I just want to live a little bit longer.
Well, if that is what you wish, well, here's what you'll do. You'll give us information on this dragon, on this beast. We'll go handle that problem. And you can spend the rest of your measly little life toning and helping the town. You seemed broken up about your wife's passing. If she had any amount of character, she would want you to try and help those that you've wronged. But sure, it would be easier to go get killed by a dragon. But you're egotistical and you want to be praised. The only way you're going to get praised is if you help those people back in the town live.
I already told you I was a coward, though.
But you also wanted to be a leader. And now that you found out that it takes more to be a leader, what will you do?
You don't get it.
Oh, I get it a lot more than you think I do.
I've already admitted that I'm a coward. And that's why, when you chased me down, I swallowed that poison.
And bitch. I'll cast lesser restoration.
Lay on hands. 5 points of lay on hands.
Or I'll just do lay on hands then. It's the same as lesser restoration. I'll jump off Skull and and
They've-
cast lay on hands.
I know that they come from the southeast. I know that Chuth is
This.
Remarkably intelligent. And those that told you that he had a rider on him, they were telling the truth, despite what I told you earlier. I prefer that Adlin never, ever finds out the truth about me.
Who was who for the rider that was on the back of the dragon? What does he look like? Or even better, do you know his name?
He rests himself with his back against one of the larger trees, and he just stares up into the canopy.
Is he dead?
No, because he thinks he's about to get taken by poison, but he's not going to, because I just neutralized the poison that he took. He's just trying to take the easy way out.
Speak if you were truly meant all the words that you just told us. We need to put a stop to this.
I'll cast Charm Person on him.
He just shakes his
I
head.
was just gonna sock him in the face.
Well, damn.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person on him.
Does a 15 hit?
That is 15 hits, and this gash opens up right below his eye, and he just rests his head back against the tree.
You keep saying you're a coward. But you don't want to do anything about it?
Casting Charm Person on him. He has an advantage because Emily just hit him.
Sorry.
I mean, theoretically, he's an elf, so he'd have advantage anyways.
Womp.
He fails. Good.
Okay.
Listen, you're not gonna die today.
I'd rather die today.
I understand. But that's not what you're gonna do. Because we need you. Your town needs you. And your wife needs you to be the man that she thought you were gonna be. So, can you finish answering the questions that we were asking? And then head back to town and confess that you did. What was the the cleric's name that's in charge? Second command?
Adeline. Hold on, I have it written. Adalia.
Please tell Adalia what you have done. And she'll take care of you. Okay?
I promise you that I don't know much about the rider. He looked elven in nature, but on the battlefield, I ran into him. I can't even tell anymore. It was as if he was standing over my wife at the time. He had killed our priestess. He had betrayed everything the dragon had promised that we'd be able to maintain. And I just begged for my life, and I offered him anything in return.
Wait, he betrayed the dragon, you said?
No. They betrayed us. I'd only spoken to the dragon here in the clearing before. The dragon had... Truth had told us. It told me that in exchange for information, some of the remaining villages inside of the Misty Forest, that he would leave Atlan be. And that if worse came to worse, they would at least be able to put me in power. So that we can continue this alliance. But then they attacked. And it came on suddenly. And the rider had to been a drow.
The information you told about the other towns, was it more than just locations? And was there anything other than towns that you told them?
It was everything. It was trade routes. It was trade routes. It was outposts. This is why I prefer that you let me die. I gave up everything.
You haven't given up on everything yet.
No, I gave up everything for my... So that what, I can reign over nothing?
Yeah, you are going to reign over nothing, but the least that you can do is help us fix your fucking problem.
I can't do anything else.
Information's all we need.
I don't know.
We'll do the rest. After that, I don't give a shit what you do.
Do you know which town they're going to next? Are they going to any of the towns in the next day?
No idea. I don't know what they're going to do with that information. I know they came from the southeast, that there are ruins in which that are old and crumbling, that we had our suspicions in which they occupied.
Southeast.
That likely that's their stranglehold over this region. That after Atlan fell, why would anybody stick around? If news gets out, and it has, any of the remaining villages have, if they're smart, they're cleared out by now.
We traveled southeast of here for a few more hours from where we are right now, and we found the spiders that I referred to last time. Do you know how much further beyond those spiders are those ruins?
A day's travel.
Okay, and do you know of an easier way around the spiders? A way that that they would have proceeded through without having to interact with the spiders? They moved a lot of people through there, so how would they have gotten through without having interaction?
That was the path that I found and was tracking them through.
They had a dragon.
The dragon that's often like leading the charge, is going to then shuttle a bunch of the foot soldiers across the forest. Doesn't seem very.
Can you imagine beasts wanting to pick a fight? Trying to feed off an army that's led by a dragon? I mean, they're dumb.
Whatever gets caught on their webs, right?
Unless there's no webs.
And they can burn them freely.
When the general of your army is a dragon, like Chuth, you're able to march through a lot of shit.
Yeah. How old is Chuth?
Is he bigger or smaller than these trees?
He knocks these trees down.
Dragons are very strong. I'm not asking about how strong he is. I'm asking about how big he is. When he stood in this clearing, was he taller or shorter than these trees?
Is he green?
He towered above these trees.
We're completely.
And we're all running off the assumption that he's green.
Completely
We have no confirmation. Everything that I've heard leads Val to believe it is a green dragon.
I know, and I'm asking him, and is he green? If you've seen him so close.
You're a coward, but you're not blind.
Oh, you're right. He is what you've heard.
So we have a green dragon that is taller than DM. Roughly how tall are these trees?
100 feet.
Yeah.
See, I said they're about 25.
You went
feet to the
25
middle.
halfway up.
Yeah.
Is what you said. It's about 50, 60-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm down with that.
What?
A lot better than 100 feet.
You're.
Well, I'm going off of the number that we used to teleport out of the spider area.
Yeah, you just arbitrarily went 100 up and 100.
Nope, he gave us the
in
number.
a
He said
direction.
how high it was.
Okay. Well,
So I made sure I was 20 feet above
Well,
the canopy,
this is-
and then I went left the rest of the way.
Specific to this area, though.
I think he says like 2.
Like we're using the context of the clearing.
yeah, we're using the context
So
of
you
the
think
clearing.
trees could be bigger there?
That's fair. That's true.
All right. With that information, Val is annoyed and fed up with this guy, and is just ready to like walk off.
All right. If you have nothing else, that you can give us before we head off to go face this dragon, or you and the rest of your town, valid. You can head back to Atlan now.
He approaches Valen.
Yes.
Valen, hey, Valen, wake up.
Yes.
And he stands in front of you. The end is coming. And he grasps you on the shoulder. Slides one hand down.
If he tries to kill him, I'm stabbing him in the head.
It's giving him the necklace. Calm down.
With one swift movement, he grabs your rapier and
Shut up!
underneath his own chin.
Oh God!
All right, dude.
Dude, this guy's wanting to die.
Dude, it would have been so much easier for him to go to the chef's knife on Valen's belt than
I
the
know.
rapier. There's like that's such a long like draw.
Fuck this guy.
You've been way better to get the butter out.
He has this sharp ass knife on his belt. Look at these character art. I drew it. Damn it.
This guy, he has hands. He's dying. He can fuck right off.
His body collapses at the foot of Valen, and that's where we'll take a break. Would have been an awesome moment to take a break had you not criticized the way I committed suicide. But whatever.
I mean, I just think you should have. I think you should have done it via butter
in such a weird way.
But he needs to pay.
Also, Terry has this dope ass chef's knife just sitting right there.
No, I wasn't.
The chef's knife is completely.
I just wanted the rapier to take another life.
It adds.
Oh, don't worry. His rapier is going to take plenty of lives.
Now the butter goes right
plenty
through
was
that
my weapon.
You know,
God damn it.
Butter goes right through the knife.
He just needs a handle with some butter on it right there, ready to go.
Butter through knife. God damn it.
He just took a stick of butter out of Valen's like belt pouch of butter.
It was enough cholesterol to kill him.
I was going to say, I was going to rebuttal his statement saying that the end hasn't come because I said the end hasn't come because I've witnessed it before.
Ooh.
Wow,
Damn.
so edgy.
That's
Well, you
deep.
can tell him that after I fucking heal him. He's not leaving.
I think at that point he already like so determined. Like I'm just gonna go.
No, we could do this for the whole session. Is going to be you reviving him. And then he's like going to food is salt to him, right? It wasn't until I was in college and I was dating the Barbie, all white, blonde hair, blue eyes, and we went to go have a burrito, and she was dumping this hot sauce called Endorphin Rush onto her thing, and I was just like, yeah, I got to do it too, right? I fucking cried myself to sleep that night, and so I was just like, if we're gonna keep dating, I gotta like play this cool and up. And it wasn't until like this little like 110-pound girl was just decimating me in hot food, or I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this out.
College was a great wake-up call for the different foods that I ate. But I will say, and then hotness stuff too, I will say I had the Darth effect in like freshman year, move-in week. They did a hot wings challenge, and they're like, Alex, you got to take part in this. And I'm like, what is it? And like, hot wings challenge.
It's the college.
I don't do hot things. They're like, oh, come on. You're like, the wrestler won't do it. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna say it that way, then fucking I'm gonna do it. I made it through 6 hot wings, and I was like eating a loaf of bread, and they didn't even have anything to drink that I could drink. So like I went and like bought like a 6-pack of like green tea. Was the only thing that they had at the time, and it did nothing for me. But I just had to drink something. It was so bad, and that was the first time that I actually had like hot
we're doing the hot wings challenge.
They were like just like
don't drink water, don't drink soda, drink milk. Milk is the only thing that's gonna help.
And I totally understand that, Terry. But I was dumb, and I just wanted something to drink, so and they had like only soda, and also the reason why green tea wasn't good was because green tea was like also like hinted with like lime or something, so it had citrus in it, right? So citrus doesn't
it hurts.
So it was a whole bunch of bad ideas, but it kind of, I do attest to that as like, all right, that was like some of the dumbest I could have done.
So this is why in Taiwan was their like really spicy hot pot that the place usually, I mean those restaurants usually serve ice cold almond milk or like soybean milk, like sweet soybean milk or almond milk, just to help people that, because a lot of Taiwanese people are lactose intolerant, so that they can drink the normal milk, so they have to use a different kind of milk substitute.
What's the theory behind them being lactose intolerant?
Taiwanese people are just built. It was never in their diet.
Most people are some level of lactose intolerant.
Okay, so milk. All right, so goat milk or like I think goat milk were popular back in the days because there were a lot of goat in Taiwan, but cows are relatively new, so like fresh milk are just, in comparison how when it entered the people's diet, it's relatively new. It wasn't until my generation that drinking milk become a popular thing. So a lot of Taiwanese people are still lactose intolerant, that they cannot drink milk, they cannot eat cheese. Otherwise, their stomach will react badly.
Yeah, and a lot of your cuisine doesn't have a lot of like dairy products in it too, right? Like there's
not a lot of our I mean, in terms of the cow dairy, there's not a lot of it. No.
The best hot wing story is still the Fires of Mordor story that David was there for. The best.
My God, that was hilarious.
Fires of Mordor.
Right out the ass.
So, David, you were working at the time, I assume? Was that your like LIT year, or was that your first junior volunteer?
My first junior counselor year, I think.
Okay, so I was working. David was a junior.
The year that I fucked up my knee from wrestling.
Oh yeah. So a bunch of us went on our night off to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'll make this as quick as I can, but this is the best story. We had an extra macho guy. This guy went on to go into the military. At the time, he was going to Citadel, or he was about to go into Citadel.
Oh wait, I think I heard this story before.
I think I've told you this before.
The Citadel. What does that mean?
It's a military academy in South Carolina.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
think like one tier below like the actual like
West Point.
Yeah, like West Point or the Navy Academy.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Emily said. So, so he eventually goes to Citadel. But he's really, really macho, and he's the only one who we know was working that night who didn't get to go with us. But all of us went to Buffalo Wild Wings. We all got like a 6 thing or 12 thing of like the hottest wings on, which was flaming or whatever it was called from Buffalo Wild Wings, and we all tried one. David ended up in the bathroom. Our friends ended up in the bathroom
in front of the waitress.
Yeah, it was bad. But we all survived. Johnny was there. I think Johnny was with us too, right? Wasn't Johnny with us for that one? It was you, Ralph.
I think so.
Me, Matt, Johnny. I think one other person, or maybe that was it. And then like someone got. Anyways, but the point is like one person was like fine with it. Everyone else was like very white.
Oh, who was it that was okay?
What
was that kid's
name? We were like, this was one hell of an experience, and they're like, we sell that by the bottle. So we're like, we're buying a bottle of hot sauce for $20, and then we didn't know what we were gonna do with the bottle of hot sauce, and they were like, we know when we get back.
Joseph's Egyptian.
Matt, the guy who goes to Citadel, 100%. We knew would be 100% if we just dared him. We dare you. You wouldn't like this hot sauce. You wouldn't drink this tablespoon of this hot sauce. We'd be like, he'll do it. So we're like, this is gonna be the most amazing thing. So as soon as we get in, we walk into the Moore Center, which is our main dining area, and Matt happens to be there, and we're like, hey Matt, dude, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. We got some of this hot sauce. It's pretty hot. You think you can have it? He's like, psh, yeah, I could do it. And he's like, you think you can take a whole spoon?
Famous last word.
A whole spoon. And he goes, yeah, no problem. So we go into the back. We go get a spoon. We don't tell him what spoon we get. We get him a slightly. It looks like a normal spoon, but it's definitely deeper than a normal spoon. And we fill it. And we fill it with hot sauce. And the thing about this hot sauce is it has a second wave. The second wave is that it gets you. So the first one is like, oh, it's hot, like normal heat, like a normal hot sauce. I guess
I know that kind of hot sauce.
Right? Yep. And you're like, oh, this is hot, but you're like, not too bad, right? Like not for like the most hottest thing on the menu kind of thing, right? And then it hits you. Well, Matt is a little weird. Matt gets like super hyped about things, and we give him the first spoon. He goes, Give me another one. Like, Matt, you don't want a second one.
Oh, no.
No. Give me a second one. And as soon as the second spoon of it hits his mouth, the first spoon hits him.
The second wave came.
The first one actually hits him. And you see it in his eyes. His face immediately turns red. He starts sweating. He goes, and then he throws the spoon on the ground, takes off, starts running around the building because he's got sprinted off, he thinks. And then he runs straight to the back. He takes out and he comes back out with a gallon of milk and a whole loaf
at
of
a
bread.
restaurant?
No, this is at our camp.
Oh,
so this is in our dining area. So we have like full access to the back where all our food is.
Okay.
And so he takes a whole gallon of milk and a thing of it, pouring milk, and starts eating a whole loaf of bread. He's just downing in the back, just like tapping it on his tongue and just putting it in there. And then you just see the second one hit him. And he goes, oh no. And then he just books it to the bathroom. And then just the doors burst open, and he just goes into a stall, and then you just like there's like there's high schoolers. This is what he was watching with that one. There's still some high schoolers that are around, but they're like kind of outside. They're doing like what high schools like. They're just with like whatever because they don't have to be watched as much. And you just hear Matt yelling, "The fires of Mordor are coming out of the fire!" And he's just like holding onto the stall, and he's just yelling this, and it's just like again, it's just so bad. And he just we give him a few minutes, he finally comes out, and he's just like, oh, he looks so like he's still red, but he still looks so drained, and like he's like, oh no, and he's like, I gotta go back to work. So he starts heading back up to the cabin where he's got to go to work. And I go up with them. Everyone's dying laughing. This has been the best $20 we could have spent. And And then he gets to the cabin, and he's like, the second wave is hitting him. He's gonna have to go to the bathroom again. And one of the high school teachers is outside. So the problem, like, so we don't normally have teachers or anything, but for whatever reason, they're about to go home, and they're like,
was
hey,
he doing
so
herpetology?
Yep, this was the first week of second week of camp, and he was doing herp camp. So
Oops.
I think Aubrey was in the cabin.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Not surprising.
so he goes up, he's in there, and he's like talking to this teacher, and he's like, yep, we'll get him to bed on time. Yep, no boys, girls. Yep. He's just trying to get through this conversation as fast as possible, and he's doing like a little dance, and he's like, and I'm just dying laughing because I have nothing to talk to this person about. I can't help them. It's not my kids. And I'm just dying laughing watching him just like struggling beyond hope, and you just see it like bubbling in his eyes, and he's just dying on the inside. And as soon as she goes, he just sprints through there, and you just and he told us the next day, he was just like, it was like a red dragon, just breath of fire through my asshole the whole night. I was up all night long blowing up our toilet. So whenever,
that's amazing.
So David was there for the fires of Mordor, and it was just the best quote. It was my favorite time. I was just so funny,
dude. That's like a hard pull. The fires of Mordor. What? Like, how do you come up with that?
I don't remember.
In that moment,
that was so perfect. Everyone knew exactly what was happening, and it was just so great.
That's pretty damn great.
All right, we'll get back to the game. So I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Fires of Mordor. All right, welcome back from the break. Mere yards away from the clearing in the forest, you guys stand around as you hear just like this gurgling death throes of this elven nobility at the foot of Valen.
Yes.
The clamoring of your rapier as it hits the ground.
May your souls be taken. Poor bastard. So the only thing we got out of them is that the enemy's main force is somewhere near around the southeast side of the forest.
I think it's towards the center of the forest to the southeast is where the ruins were, which is what we're assuming is where they're at.
And we don't know the ETA on there, if they plan or when they plan to attack any other towns in the area. So the only place we know they might be, and they probably are at some point, is in those ruins.
I think we just continue to follow the tracks of the army that left, and continue down to the southeast to look for these ruins.
Does this move our timetable up?
I feel like we essentially spent a day at this clearing at this point.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I was saying, like,
we finish our long rest, and then.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, I don't want to travel in the middle of the night, and we kind of went back and forth in this area all day, so we still need to rest for the day, and then we can proceed down.
So I guess you guys have a choice. You can go into the city, or you can go back to the clearing. you guys are gonna look for a rest either way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, is there any benefit of going?
Sorry, Emily, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we didn't. So, like, if we would have rolled on the encounters table, like during a long rest encounter, you'd do the encounter and then go back to immediately to sleeping, and you would still be able to complete your long rest. Assuming that rule still holds true, this would be just our encounter, and then we go back to sleeping. Can we finish our long rest in our 8-hour window that we normally would, and then just proceed in the morning?
Here's the thing I want you to consider. There had been around the clearing a circling of a dragon, right? A beast. So I guess what I'm asking you is where are you going to take your rest at?
In the dome.
Okay, so you guys head back. You guys, I guess. So I'm saying is you guys are going to head back to the clearing.
Yeah, but you could recast it and get it again.
And that's fine.
And
it's just
so I'm separating it onto two different parts, Viva. So like I was just saying, like if we were without traveling, because if we start traveling, then the rest that we had accomplished, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever, right? That's gone. So we have to start a new long rest. But if we were to just say right now we don't travel anywhere, we start our long rest right here. That's a decision we need to make. We can continue our long rest and then pick it up in the morning, and then we would successfully complete our long rest if there's no encounter. If we choose to stay here, if we choose, like you're suggesting or offering, to go back to the town or just move in the middle of the night to another location, that would break our long rest for sure, and then we'd start another 8 hours at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Was that so? My question was
the
first
half,
and then we go from there.
So, I guess you guys need to discuss. Are you going to go back to that clearing where this potential danger is, or are you guys going to go somewhere else and relocate?
We are searching for this danger currently, is my understanding. I do not see any good reason to head back to the village at this point. This guy's dead. Big fucking whoop. Like, if we go back, we're gonna have to tell people about it. We're gonna talk about it for forever, and shit's gonna keep happening.
I know.
Yeah, and
I say
however long it takes us to get from the back to the village.
And we've already walked back and forth from here to the village today, and used all of today to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess just set up the dome a little bit outside the clearing. Like, we don't need to set up in the middle of the clearing, but like.
Yeah, set up in the brush, near the clearing, and then we'll proceed. If the dragon shows up, we'll fight it. We have a clearing. We know where we are.
And we also have the dome. If the dome's still active, the dragon can't get through the dome.
Okay, so you guys choose to elect to stay, and Valen goes ahead and he conjures up the dome.
Yep, but that's cool with him.
Keeping in the back of your mind, your ranger is the one who's kind of, he's the weather vane as far as this thing that's happening, this circling danger. And as the night progresses, that storm starts to dissipate. That impending doom, the beating of those wings, that constant, that drumming seems to dissipate, and you guys are able to weather this storm. And as day breaks, you find yourselves in this forest, there's this kind of like majestic glow as sunrise filters through the mist and kind of has this illuminating effect that kind of just like lights the entire underneath the canopy. And it's this when you guys decide that you're gonna backtrack and follow that main path that the brothers had originally found as you guys journey deeper into the misty forest.
Do we have to backtrack to get to that, or could we not? Could I?
A little bit.
I not know to just cut like straight across to get back to that path and then follow that path?
I would say you. I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna go into town, but in order to do it, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to go backwards to go forward.
Okay.
Okay. And over the course of the next several hours, you guys journey deeper and deeper into the woods. That same light, even though it's closer to midday, dissipates as you guys journey further in, deeper and deeper. And over the next several hours, you start to see that tinkling and the little tiny, those thin strands.
Once we see those, I will alert everybody to what I expect
Okay.
to come across soon.
Someone spell proc for me. This is D&D important.
What?
Proc?
Yeah, like procking something.
PROC?
Mm-hmm.
PROCK?
Yeah, so proc.
No, PROC. Proc.
Isn't it? It's an abbreviation for.
Proclamate.
Okay. It just doesn't
What's it abbreviation for?
Yeah, I don't know what the I only know it's procking, so like I don't know what the abbreviation is. That's why when I spelled it.
I'm assuming it's an abbreviation.
No, it's an abbreviation if you're talking about like procedure. It gets shortened to proc.
Oh. Okay. I'll Google it later.
I don't think it.
Ryan
in
sent me
itself
something
is
from
a
Jeremy
proc.
Crawford about D&D, a ruling on sneak attack that was like, huh. I was like, how does he do that? Because I'm not interested. I need him to answer it.
Interesting. Anyways,
Stronger.
Oh, can I sorry. I'm gonna be annoying for half a second. Can I Oh, David. Hush.
I haven't said shit. I was rolling out my neck. Holy fuck.
It's a dramatic like eye roll.
Say what you gotta say. Damn.
Okay, well, on my watch the night before, I'm gonna bury Idiot Face in the clearing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Body first loot.
Makes sense.
Loot.
It's a burial. It's a burial more than he deserved, but okay.
Well, I'm not gonna give him a headstone or anything, but I'll bury him there. I'll tell the villagers where he is. That way he can be buried with his wife.
Oh.
Might not want to. He caused his wife to be dead.
Yeah, he might be. Man, was his wimpy character?
Ghosts, man.
When he's a coward, he might not doesn't have the courage to face his wife and tell her that.
Oh no, I'm gonna make him face his wife.
I mean, awkward gravestone. Just.
I'm burying him there for later. His ass is gonna face the consequences, even if it's in the afterlife.
Damn, David.
Okay.
What? What, Harry? What?
I don't know. Just
Bitch,
say.
you think I'm doing shit wrong over here? You think I gotta
No,
worry about
we know
that?
why you're not doing things wrong.
Yeah, roll your neck again.
Yeah, roll it again. I dare you. I dare you roll your neck again.
I do not step out of line in this house.
Okie dokie.
That's it. Thank you. We're getting into spiders now.
I know. Can we just get on with it?
No.
I would like.
Rage?
Make a macaroni necklace.
Rage.
Yes, we get it. You like arts
I
and
would
crafts.
like to suggest.
You drinking apple cider again?
Ooh, some good apple cider.
Which person? Oh.
If we see where the we'll step back away from the spider webs and.
He's such a baby.
Do we want to try to go over it, or do we want to go through it?
You weren't muted when you said that.
How are we gonna go? I know I wasn't. I'm saying in game, Val's calling Liam a baby.
I'm giving us the option.
How are we gonna go over it?
You shadow people with your broom.
That would take forever.
Let's just go.
Let's just go.
It's considered like going through webs and stuff will be probably the same amount of time, because you going up and over at a fly speed of even 25 will be the same amount of time it would probably go through the web infested area, due to webs and having to clear them and difficult terrain. Just saying, it's probably the same amount of time.
What does the group want?
I'm fine with fighting spiders. Fucking hate spiders. Valen, do you want to go kill some spiders, or do you want to go around up and over the spiders?
I mean, I have magics that can deal with spider, but I would prefer to avoid them, knowing what kind of spells they can trap us.
Then
I'll use boots of flying.
she'll use her boots of flying. I'll shuttle people across on the broom.
Could I roll a strength check to see if I could just like carry somebody?
You'll be
She's
half
a strong
speed.
girl.
Carry him in which way? With
With her
your.
boots of flying.
With the boots of flying, or is that a
Can you
single?
can you
I
read
don't
your
know.
boots of flying? Because I don't believe you fly all that high.
Okay, let me see.
Let's take a look.
Well, she's given a fly speed of 30 feet. It's not given a height limit, I don't think.
If there's walking speed, it's the only.
Because it's a fly speed, so...
Uh-huh. So this would be, you're gonna have that same walking speed up. Then you're gonna have that, so we don't have a height, but we're still talking distance.
Yes.
So that's gonna be halved when you're carrying someone.
Okay.
So it will be slow, and it won't be.
Also, Skull cannot
useful.
come with you. He'll have to go around or something.
I have a way for all this to work. Let me just ride the broom, and we'll just put. If you guys just hold your breath, we'll just put you guys in the pocket. If it takes less than 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes, we can just get there.
It's not the bag of holding; it's the portable hole, but it's the same deal.
You have to hold all the bag of holdings, right? Yeah, someone will have to take the bag of holding from Valen. But other than that, we should be fine.
No, it will be the bow, or the quiver.
The quiver and my bag of holding.
His bag of holding.
No. You take. No. I'll just ride with him.
Okay.
We're making this way too complicated.
I'm just saying I'm just.
She can fly. I can fly. We can shuttle people.
Yeah, and I'm just saving us half a trip. So just.
Why do we need to save it? Why is it necessary to save it?
Just
Alex?
because we can just put people in the bag in the portable hole, and you can just do it all in one trip. So you just hold your.
There's 4 of us. Why do we need to put anyone in there?
Because you
I
want
know.
you want to put Skull.
So that
we can
Astrid
transport
doesn't.
Skull, and then she doesn't have to carry anybody.
So that Astrid doesn't have to have that much restraint on her movement.
Right.
If one person is carried in a thing, I think was what he's saying.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean,
Technically, all of us are carrying an extra dimensional pocket.
yes.
What is Astrid?
Oh, really?
She has her special item. We don't really know about it. It was talked about in one of the side chats of when we were in Waterdeep. The team does not actually know about it. She just has something.
So she has
I don't know what's in
dimension. She has an extra dimensional thing.
I do have an extra dimensional thing.
Yes.
Okay. So we all are aware of the rules with extra dimensional items. So and Valen has the money pocket in the portable hole. So we just move, or sorry, not the portable hole.
Just take 2 trips and not fucking talk about this anymore.
We just talked about it. Just do it. Just move the bags over in thing, and then just do it. It takes less time. And we can move Skull over.
Are you gonna put your dog in the hole?
Or you can leave him behind.
I'll just dismiss him.
We can move him. He's one creature. He'll fit in here.
No, I mean, there's no use for us to have him. Like, he's not, like... He's, like, relatively helpful in combat, but I'm fine in combat without him. So, like, and I'm not...
I'm giving you an option.
Using him. No, it's okay. Like, I can just dismiss him. It's not a big deal.
So you go and you kneel up to Skull. You whisper in his ear.
What are you whispering?
Oh. Seen a little while, bud.
And then
bud.
This
actually
form,
she went to him.
Yeah, this form that this direwolf had taken just kind of like dissipates and it sinks into the ground and kind of like flows out. Skull's gone. And you guys begin to
I'll activate my boots and I can fly. I'll fly next to whoever's on the broom and just an extra body as we kind of shuttle back and forth. Because I don't have a limit. It's a 4-hour fly speed, so I'm assuming it's not going to take us 4 hours to get across where we need to get to. So, I can just be another set of eyes.
Why don't you just carry Valen and then have him get on the broom and we just make one trip?
It's still one.
It'll be slower, but we just make one trip.
Okay, that's fine.
I
thought we had decided. I didn't know if we had decided if I could do that. No, I'm talking about the boots of flying.
Yes.
Like, I didn't know if we had decided, like, we had made the call of whether I could actually carry somebody if it was a one-person thing.
No, he said you move at half speed.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Sorry.
All right, you cranky pantses. What's happening is you guys are now at the edge of this, what you guys assume is the spider's domain. You guys say that you're gonna start to elevate. You guys begin to with Astrid carrying Valen, kind of like arms underneath his armpits, and then the two brothers bickering on the broom. You guys rise up in the canopy until you guys breach that top, and you guys start to coast over. The sun kind of like when you guys finally, press that canopy, it's almost blinding as you guys forget just how it's midday. It's bright out. The sun is in full view, and you guys continue on until you see, after like about an hour's travel in the same direction you guys were headed, you see another almost like this crater had hit in the midst of all this forest. The trees don't lessen and they don't become any thinner, but they start to like follow the path of the ground and they grow down into this giant pit. And then there in the center, the trees break and there is this large pool with this magnificent waterfall at one end of it. where the crater seems to stop, and then this jagged wall of rock and tree kind of just sticks up, elevates above all the trees that surround it.
Calm. I know. Ezra, no, don't fall down. Calm.
So was this an hour of flying, or did we just go over the top of the spider thing? It was like
you went up. You
you
guys went up, and then you traveled for like an hour and change.
Okay.
So
that was an hour of flying on your boots.
Yeah. Okay.
So once we land,
do you want to land by that? You want to land on the pool side?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, let's do that. Because I'm assuming that's in general where I'm assuming that we've traveled far enough to be through the spiders.
you guys lower down into the trees, still as thick as they've ever been. You do hear just like that constant crashing of the water that's collapsing from the waterfall in the southeast corner of this pool. You land several yards to the northwest of it.
I guess I'll I guess I'll take a look around to see if there's anything other than just like the water in the pool. Before we kind of break the tree cover, even though we are pretty obviously landed within the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And while she's doing that, I'll try and take a look around to see if I see any indication of the dragon, whether this be its lair or just a place that it's passed through.
Would you rather an investigation or a perception?
Investigation.
Okay.
And is there anything that you'd want me to roll?
I prefer you to roll investigation as well.
Cool.
Oh, lit.
Look at these rolls.
17.
and
A natural 17 at that.
Oh, gee.
What were you exactly looking for, Astrid?
I was just kind of doing like a general like, is there anybody standing on the shore of the lake?
Okay.
Are there people peeking over the cliffside? Like, does it look nice?
So you approach the clearing, and the clearing being literally like the pond in front of, or this lake in front of you. I just wanted to
do like a check before I broke, cover.
Right. There is no indication at all from what you can see up on the cliff face in the different cracks and crevices of this giant cliff face. As far up as you can see, you don't see any movement, any kind of indication that there are scouts, guards, anything like that.
Okay.
Val, what does concern you is very much is you do see under kind of like this crashing waves that's caused by this waterfall, right? You do see beneath those waves claw marks, prints that
Behind it.
that maybe this large beast that you guys have been tracking has stammered through here, has used this thing, has bathed here, has possibly fed here, has taken to like a watering hole, and And from every indication, it seems as though that isn't a rare occurrence. That it's like a natural watering hole for such a beast.
And that was like at the waterfall.
Oh, I was just thinking you were doing all around.
Oh, okay.
The lake. Sorry. I hadn't seen you move your character.
No, I hadn't.
Okay.
So I'm just seeing I'm seeing claw marks and stuff just around the bank, like in just random places. But it looks like this is trafficked.
Like a decent amount of traffic for this one spot.
If everyone's looking around, I'll take 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic so long as nothing else happens.
Sure. Just to be careful.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I'm not wandering. I'm not wandering anywhere.
I mean, I did a general check, so I'll wander up to the water's edge.
I'm not stopping anything from happening. I'm just saying this. Like, you'll see me start ritual casting something, but like if something happens, then I'll stop. But I figured I'd rather have it up if I get an opportunity.
There isn't much you detect. There's almost nothing. You do know that there's a little bit of a green haze to this water here. But as far as what you're expecting, as far as a magical entity or whatever, you're not.
No magic.
You're not into getting.
No, nothing's tinging. I got 10 minutes of it once it's up, so if we start heading in a direction, I'll have 10 minutes of it. So I'll just say like, all right, I got Detect Magic up if we want to start. Pick a direction and start walking that way.
Val is interested in checking the waterfall. He always thinks cool things are behind waterfalls.
It's at this moment that both Liam and Val get this kind of like warm sense, almost like a little bit of calm, and it emanates from this garland around their neck. And as you approach the waterfall, you see just the slight little deviation in the wall, this crack with footprints.
Ooh.
With much smaller claw marks. Let's see if I can't.
Can you move us over there because I can't see waterfall.
My token does not have vision. I'm only seeing through Astrid.
Which direction are we moving?
He's moving us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. And behind this waterfall, almost invisible to where you had previously been standing, you see that this pathway opens up behind the waterfall into an opening that leads deeper into this cliff face.
Fun.
We're getting a warm feeling, like a good warm feeling, not like a I ate hot wings warm feeling, right? Was there a yes there? A no there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I guess we're going forward.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and I guess you two can lead the way since.
Sure, Dave. You want to move your token up? Can you see yet?
I can.
No.
See. I can stay close to you. That way you can see.
Mm-hmm. I can see off of Astrid, but that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll make sure my token is close to you. That way you can see what's going on.
I don't want to move too fast. If you guys want to move,
I can move both of us in.
Oh, you can? Okay. Yeah.
That's why I can see all of you, is because I have control of your token.
As you guys enter this chamber, the ceilings, the walls rise 40 feet up in the air until this ceiling above you, with these stalactites hanging above. You hear the dripping of the water as it pools at the tips of these stalactites and then drips on the ground below. As you guys continue down this path, it remains kind of empty, and these drippings kind of continue to echo.
There's no other noise?
No.
I'll halt the group real quick and whisper, if we are trying to be as stealthy as possible, do you want me to cast Pass Without a Trace for now? If this is the lair of the dragon, we might want to try and sneak up on it.
But does the invisibility spell works on dragon?
It's not an invisibility spell. It's a +10 to stealth, and we leave no tracks. It doesn't mean it can't see us, but like...
makes it a lot harder for it to perceive us.
It makes it a lot harder. Or like, it makes it a lot harder for anything else that might be scurrying around in here to see us.
I think it's a good idea, but are we still getting the warm feeling? Do we have like a sense of good, bad, or is it like a detector where we want to go? Do we have an idea of what it feels?
The two. Well, yeah. So, it's you have this. It feels like
I insight check this warm feeling.
It's like your clothes had been wet the night before, and you set it next to a raging campfire, and then you put it back on.
So it's gonna smell like smoke.
You always smell like smoke.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's not me though. It's never mind. All right, let's. Yeah, I think. Do we want to use it now? If we don't know. My only thing is like I don't know if we want to use it before.
I'll hold on to it.
Yeah, I think as soon as
let's just go.
Yeah, let's just keep going down. If we start seeing something in our vision, then use it. We can still be stealthy though, so like let's just do normal stealth. But yeah.
Okay. I can roll stealth.
Well, I mean, like roll stealth like when you ask you to, but we'll be going at half speed.
Oh, yeah. We can just keep going.
Okay, so you guys start to get to an opening in the clearing. Ahead of you is another pool of water. As you guys approach it, you see that the pathways branch off in several different directions. The pool of the water kind of runs through. You hear the trickling, but it still is drowned out by the booming, rushing sound of that waterfall behind you.
So that sound is kind of flooding all of the
white noise.
Yeah, it's like white noise, static TV in the background. It's.
Can I try and make a roll, whichever you prefer, to see if I can get a sense of like moving air or anything?
Let's see if I got.
Okay. Like, I'm trying to see if there's like a dragon breathing in here, and like which way is it coming from? Val's very much on edge for dragons, and he's just trying to keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, that would be your perception.
Okay.
I guess the other question is the opening that we came through estimated big enough that it could actually fit through?
That question I'll just answer. Yeah, it was 100%.
Yeah.
Big enough
cool.
It was a 40-foot tall cave
entrance.
ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, I only caught that it was like a crack in the wall.
It was a 40-foot tall cave entrance.
It was the ledge that you guys walked in was like a crack in the
Okay.
wall. Like your pathway in was just this little tiny jutting outs of rocks that looked like it had been traversed by humanoid. Right, that indicated that that's a way that you guys could get in.
Got it.
Um.
Oh, but the opening is larger. Like you could like plunge through the waterfall. Got it.
Yep. Val takes stock of where he's at, trying very much to get a sense of something large deeper in the cave.
If I get nothing, that's cool.
You don't get nothing. You don't get what you want.
That's fine.
But you also don't get nothing. You swear you hear like clanking. You swear you hear movement. But it's hard to tell in this cavern and how things echo off. But your gut says you're not hearing a dragon.
If I'm going to the east and my brother's a little bit more south, am I feeling like it's still getting warmer or getting cooler on the Garland?
I would say the further east you go, the cooler it gets. Yeah.
Right. Once I realize that, me and Valen I'll grab Valen and say like, all right, I guess I'm getting whatever this thing is. We're using it as a guide. Then I don't think it's this way. I'll meet back up with my brother and say like, I don't think it's that way because I started getting whatever this is cooler. So
interesting. Mine hasn't gotten any cooler, so let's keep going this way.
Is that right?
You guys continue further south, following this edge of the water. As you guys move south,
does the cave have to go? Ooh.
As you move south, and you had described that sensation of it getting cooler when you moved further east. It's now that you both determined that the garland, that warmth is starting to dissipate as well.
Okay, so south is also getting cooler too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a opening over here. Do we want to go check that out and see if the garlands get any warmer?
Let's head a little west and hit it on here. Anything yet before I start treading down this dark alley?
DM.
Under perception.
I mean, yeah.
What?
Oh, you guys can see further?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 120 foot.
I have 120 foot dark vision, so
we can see.
I'm just gonna see if I see anything. I don't see shit.
I'm wondering, is this like a ledge or something? Because this looks like different terrain right here. It's like if it was a different ledge or something, if there was a barrier, then like you may not see it.
Is that something that can be?
Yeah, that looks like it's supposed to be a wall there.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Sorry, all. I didn't realize that wasn't in there.
Can you update on? You can.
We don't see anything, but my initial question is still up. Is if we move more towards the west now, since there's this opening, will the necklaces start to heat back up?
Huh. What?
Are they getting warmer if we're going this way?
No, not necessarily. As you guys continue that path,
south is. What if we go just close to the water from here?
Nothing. It gets cooler.
Do you think it was just to get us to a very specific point, and then we had to figure it out from there?
Maybe, or it's just too general from where we are. I'm not sure. I don't know what this is.
I don't think us walking to the west and it not changing is a bad sign. Because us walking to the east and south, it got cooler. If we just walked to the west and it stayed the same, I think that's fine.
All right, so you just want to go down this pathway, see where it goes?
Yeah, I think so.
Do it.
You guys take this really thin pathway. The walls, again, they rise up 40 feet in the air. But you see that they had been carved crudely with pickaxes and things.
Start seeing something at this point, so I'm gonna start being we're gonna slow down and creep. Alright, I can see an icon right now.
Yeah.
As you guys approach,
What is this?
Dude,
as you approach, you see these three creatures, kind of like they're trundling through like these heaps of garbage, and you just hear them, "Don't touch my stuff," as they like whack at each other, and they seem to be like bickering amongst themselves.
Do we recognize what language they're speaking? Are they speaking common? I ask because I'm wondering if they speak giant versus common, and if we would actually understand them.
You can speak common.
They can. I'm wondering because most every other large creature like
They
trolls,
speak. Does anybody speak giant or orc?
No, I do not.
So this bickering and arguing, you guys, is kind of falling undetected on you guys. You're not quite sure what it is that they're saying.
All right, if they haven't noticed us yet, give me a second, and then I'm going to another 10 minutes.
In minutes?
Everything is ritual cast is a 10-minute ad.
Yeah, why are you ritual casting right now?
I can comprehend language.
It's weird.
I think we should just link telepathically if we really want to talk to them.
I won't be able to speak to them, but I'll be able to understand what they're saying.
Well, I'd be able to speak to them.
Well, I mean, if you I just want to see what they're.
What's the point? Like, what? If you're just trying to figure out what they're saying, I guess we can do that.
Yeah,
I just didn't know.
I want to
if
see
you're,
what they're. I want to see what they're saying without tipping our hats that we're here. I just want to listen in. Real quick.
Okay, yeah, go for it then.
But it's.
Right,
I don't know if
I don't have it
was
prepared,
to.
So if we could just stay quiet and wait here for.
Does
10
your
minutes.
ritual cast like require you to like make noise, set up like shop or stuff?
No, it just makes me take out my book. And then like I whisper the verbal semantic part. I mean, I'll roll stealth for this, Viva.
Yeah, I was gonna say like at this point, like I'll
We all
roll
have to roll
stealth
stealth.
to try and not be seen. If that's okay with the DM.
It's at this point, since he already started the casting before he decided to go stealth. This is.
I said we were stealthing the whole time. It was not like I was like out of stealth and then doing that.
Well, you guys stand in this hallway, is what I'm saying. These three are moving around this trash heaps, this trash infested room. And at one point, you notice that one of these beasts, this double-headed beast, look at you, and the one with like the kind of the face, the painted face, blue, just kind of rolls his eyes. And you hear this garbling. And they continue to kind of like circle around the room. Every once in a while, they collide, they bump shoulders, and that causes like this fight. And they start to like throw fisticuffs and do some damage. Nothing serious, nothing like too major, but they seem to be very. You get the sense that they're like siblings crammed in a room, bored as shit, and very, very quick to fight.
But they noticed us and didn't immediately, or one of the heads of one of them noticed us and didn't immediately start throwing.
Yeah, you guys, for the most part, you guys are standing in this hallway. They saw you, but just kind of, yeah, exactly, just rolled their eyes like, and then just continued on with what they were doing. That 10-minute passes on your thing, and you kind of start to tune into what we hear, and you hear this bickering amongst them. You hear this squabbling over whose trash heap is bigger, who has the most flies. This squabbling over maggots, like my has the most maggots. No, mine does. And that seems to like cause another bigger fray, and then then this tussling starts, and then you hear it's a subtle difference in the voices. Seems a little bit more coherent and has a different pitch to it. As one of these giants in the back, you idiots. Stop fighting, she says.
Okay, so my vision only goes to this far, so like I would have to see them move around, but I can't see what we see right now.
I mean, feel free to move up. Feel free to move up. They circled around, so you've had a chance to kind of see all three.
Still can't see all three.
You want me to move up so you can see?
I can see it far enough. Shit. Just disappeared.
Damn, for some reason my zoom for the map doesn't work very well. Oh, there you go. I found it.
So the two, I'm gonna call them smaller ones. I assume they're smaller ones. I don't know. The two over there, they seem to be fighting over trash keeps or something. One in the back seems to be in charge.
Oh, my screen.
There's two Davids. Or two. There we go.
That was weird.
So.
I mean, if they're ignoring us,
I don't.
And there's no other into that room, we should just.
I can't. Yeah,
take advantage of the fact that
we could probably make a left turn here and.
Yeah.
Ignore them if we can.
They don't seem hostile. I'll be listening if they say anything that they're turning on us, but right now, right now they don't really seem to care about us. Let's just keep moving on by.
Yeah, as much as we can.
Sure.
I think, as long as they're absorbed in their thing.
All right, there's a door down here.
There's a pathway at the top.
Was I able to put that night vision on you or dark vision on you, David?
No, I'm still not seeing anything.
It's not moving real quick.
Honestly, I feel like we might need to just remove my ability to control Astrid, so I just control my character at this point.
I mean, I can control Valen and my character, and we both have the right amount of dark vision.
I don't know. I'll stand over here. Okay, I can see it now. It's working.
Oh.
All right, we're good.
Is it in 360? Is it in 360 or only one direction?
No, it looks 360.
Okay, cool. All right, so you guys are gonna continue down. As you guys kind of edge past this, you stumble through the muck in which these three giant beasts kind of like parade around in.
I'm checking this door with a natural 20.
As you get to the end of the tunnel leading to It rises. It starts. This is at an incline. It starts to rise 20 feet up. At the end of this tunnel is a rickety wooden door.
Does it look safe? Does it look trapped? Does it look locked?
Oh my god, please.
This door is a very rickety, ill-constructed door. It'll take you hardly any effort at all to pry it open.
And let's open the door. If it looks safe to not trap, let's open it. Do I have to roll for it instead of it hardly any effort?
Do you need inspiration to try to open the door?
No.
Not at all.
I don't think so.
As the door cracks open, you see something horrific. Mixed amongst guards, like statues. You see dozen of elves. You see them you see them bound, gagged, some bleeding as they stand mixed amongst knights and mages.
You're saying knights and mages. I assume those are the guards?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they... Okay.
Uh-oh.
Do they look like they're dragon cultists, or do they look like they're a different ilk?
You get the sense that many of them are cultists, but they stand next to almost petrified Alvin people, frozen in terror and fear from whatever their last moments were.
But the guards are moving? Oh, I can't see anything. Why am I asking questions?
I can't see. I see the guards and stuff, but are the guards? Or are they also statues?
No, there are guards. There are these knights and stuff, but you see almost like statues amongst this.
So some of them are getting petrified. It seems like while they're getting in some sort of hostage/torture situation, some of them are getting petrified for whatever reason we don't know yet.
There's a bunch of hostages, or looks like elves, and looks like they have guards, some magic users, some not. We have to do something. I can't see the whole room though. Astrid Val, when you move up and see quietly and see if you can see further than I can.
You're more perceptive.
Also more quiet.
Well, that too.
So I'll stealthily move up. So I'm rolling my stealth. Rolled a 4, got a 17.
Ridiculous.
Nice.
You are planning to enter the room?
I'm getting to the doorway where I can see into the room, and then I'm gonna make a perception check to see, like, can I get a lay of the land? Can I see who might be in charge, or who might be the targets that we might need to take out in order to try and free some of the captives? Or do I get a sense of what they're doing to turn things into statues? So I'm just doing a quick perception check, and you can tell me what all I can glean in that quick glance.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
As you peer in through this door, and you see the more common elves, the ones that had been described to you as kind of like petrified, standing in motion. It's now that you notice that even the knights and the mages are elves. That everyone in this room seems to be of the same ilk, although they're not all facing the same same fate. In one aspect, you do see this bit of kindness between a knight and one of these petrified elves. As if he takes a little bit of that water that's been trickling around, and he dampens the lips of the petrified elven, like the few petrified elven that are inside. It's at this moment that they notice the door is open, and they kind of peer. And then they kind of go back to what they're doing. Some gathering up material, some taking a moment for reprieve. And then as you watch from the shadows, you start to notice a little bit more of that same tenderness that they're showing to some of these captured that are in worse shape than them.
I'll back up a couple of feet and then whisper to the group. So some of they're all elves, strangely enough. Some of them, even the guards, are elves. They seem to be trying to take care of those that are in worse shape and some of the ones that are petrified, but I couldn't really see like why some of them are petrified or how they were getting petrified, or it's kind of hard to tell if any of them are actually like part of the cult or trying to cause harm. Not really sure what to make of this.
Well, we either find a new direction, since they aren't actively killing anyone, or we go in and find out what's going on. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Who wants to go talk?
Well, would they respond?
Are we sure the thing that's turning people to stone is not in there?
I couldn't tell.
Would they respond better to someone of elven descent or someone completely different?
Just to make clear, DM, they didn't look like they were dragging cultists wearing like purple robes or stuff like that, were they?
You didn't see the typical purple robes that you're used to.
Okay. Then Val would not make the connection to try and think about using the black dragon mask as a status symbol to talk to them. So in my mind, like if they were a part of the cult, then like
yeah, of course,
I might try to use that to
intimidate, to infiltrate. Yep, I get you.
He still has it on, but like he's not thinking in that mindset right now.
Okay. Valen, what do you think?
I kind of want to, because we still have a lot of spill left over. So before I want to turn myself invisible and go into the room and see what the hell is going on. But I know as a bard, it's not something a bar should do for the front
What the hell
line.
do you mean? Bards can do literally fucking anything they want.
No.
Bards are the class that gets to
You
do
guys
everything.
have scolded Terry in the past for rushing into rooms.
I know.
And Terry is
Thank
saying,
you,
"I don't
DM.
want to go.
No.
I
Thank
don't
you,
want to go in
DM.
that
We get
room."
mad at him for bad ideas where he gets himself nearly killed. We've
No, this
never
is
said
what
he
he's
can't
thinking.
do a
This-
thing.
I understand
We've
what
never said
Terry's
he
thinking.
Can't do a thing.
I understand what
you're
Terry's
invisible.
thinking.
Do it.
But yeah, I think you
He
can,
has
Terry.
the powers and the ability and
If
the
you
access
want
to every spell in the game. He can do anything.
Sport. I will.
I don't know what's going on. I don't have a better idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Val has got your back. He literally fought two snake people to save your ass.
It's up to you.
All right, Valen,
So-
what you gonna do?
To whom can I talk to if I go away from a group? Alex? It's Darking?
Probably you can talk to him.
Only if I'm in eye contact with him.
Can you be in eye contact with somebody who's invisible?
You can not.
No, you can't. Like
Cannot.
actually, that is your choice, DM.
I want to say
someone
no.
If it's
I wanna
something-
say no,
Like, I would
because-
say no. If you can't see your target, then you can't.
Yeah.
Like if it's a thing of saying you must have visual on
I'm
your
in
target.
this corner. Which corner?
Yeah.
Mm.
You can talk.
Unfortunate,
verbally
because
with anybody, but if you're invisible, you
her
can cast a
ability
spell
would have
or
been
take an
so
action.
clutch.
Yeah, I have
But,
to.
like,
It's
an attack. It breaks your invisibility, so you can't
It-
cast
it-
message while invisible.
It's not that. It's her telepathy.
it
But
says
Terry was
to
asking
any.
who he could talk to, and I was telling him he can't. If he's invisible, he can't cast another spell without breaking.
Yeah, the
invisibility.
stipulation is that I have to see it.
Yeah. So you'll just have to walk back over here and talk to us. Like
Yeah.
that's
Do a lap and then come back and report.
Okay. Let's do this. Spell.
And we'll kick the door in and fight anybody who tries to hurt you.
the door's already open.
How would
I'm
we
still
know if they're
kicking the
trying to
door
hurt
in.
They already saw it opened.
I'll still kick the door in.
It's gonna like run by the door. It's just like all the way open. You just like kick it into the wall a little
Yeah,
bit more.
and it shatters.
Ah, yes. It's very rickety. Very
Okay.
nice to be able to do that.
Okay. Go ahead and so you've now become invisible.
Let me set a mark for myself.
Move your character around.
I think
yeah.
he's marking.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he's
fine with
marking
that.
invisible.
That marker. I thought he was putting a marker for like where he was.
This is where
Okay,
I
so-
was.
I walk past Darking, and then
You're gonna have to actually open the door more.
I thought I opened it
It's
all the way.
open.
You
Yeah.
opened it all the way, but I'm saying from the sake of the story,
It's-
it's been cracked
Yeah, he's able to squeeze through.
like butter.
So
I took a peek at a room.
you're gonna go
let
in.
me-
Go ahead and go through, and you can describe what it is that you're
Oh.
seeing.
So other than the people in the room that I'm seeing, what else do I observe?
So as you pass by, you see elves dressed in common gear, almost always flanked by some kind of nobility or knight. You see them gradually as you continue to spend a little bit more time there. You see that they seem to be caring for, giving aid to those commoners that seem to be petrified. The further you go in is when you notice in the corner, huddled around by the noble, a mage, some commoners, who are still able to move. There is a statue or a shrine of a young female human holding a basin.
Okay.
There's water that flows from the cracks in the ceiling and onto the statue's head, and then drips into the basin. From what you can understand, or what you can tell, the long years have etched thin white lines resembling the tracks of tears across the statue's face as the water drips into this basin. And it's there that the mages, the nobles, and the few remaining commoners that can still move take the water and they disperse it amongst the crowd, or the others in this room, as they have that tender moment where they put that water into their lips.
Okay. All right. Then I will go back to the group.
Can I ask a question about your description? Can you see if the water is doing anything? Like, does it just look like water going in the mouth? Or
so after I went back to the group, I basically share. So they are elves and common folks. Seems to be resting and recovering in that room, and they are taking out, I would say, some sort of liquid out of from a statue, and that's apparently that liquid is helping some of the people that got petrified. So that's what I'm seeing. I don't think this group is the group that we are hunting for, in a sense that I don't feel any hostile intent among them. So,
are we sure that the water is helping?
The water seems to be, well, I don't know if it's water, but it's some sort of liquid that actually helping people recovering from being petrified. So that's all I can see.
Is that true? Like, Viva, is that true?
Are you metagaming?
I was just wondering if we could see if it's actually helping, or if you're just saying like
you're not. You can't ask me. You're asking the guy who just was in there.
I know.
And he's telling you. He's telling you.
I told you what I saw, and that's based on I'm being invisible. Then that's everything I could observe.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
so what I'm saying is
water is helping. That, do you want to get some of that water before we go?
We could, and I don't think we need to hide ourselves when we enter the room. That's just what I'm saying. Because these group of people, it doesn't look like they're hostile. And that's my feeling, and I'm sticking to my gut with that. We can still go fully invisible and try to take the liquid, but I'm afraid by doing so, we're actually going to make things worse.
We also don't need to send everyone in to go get some liquid if they're not hostile, so just stay invisible and one of us can go get it real quick. And see what's going on if we're going to engage.
But, okay.
And just as as we're discussing that, I'll say, if there's not an outlet in here, we can go the north of the room we were just in also has a hallway. So we might need to go that way next.
That if we go that way, we will have to cross through where these giants were. If we want to stay on the side of the thing. For now, they seem to ignore us, but just saying.
Alright, well, who's gonna go get this water?
Do you think they're gonna be more or less hostile to an elf versus a non-elf? Since everybody there is an elf?
Well, no, they are common folks. And
common elves. They're elves.
Common elves. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no.
You can still have various classes within a race.
Then no, what I saw was like a whole bunch of elves. There were no human, but they were helping each others to try to recover. So that's all I can see.
I can go in.
I don't have any issue with that.
Unless anybody has any other preference, I can just go in, figure out what's going on, see if I can get some of the liquid.
Do you have? I assume you have empty potion bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a bunch. Okay, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll step into the room.
As you walk in, you see like a brief hesitation, almost like every knight and noble elf in the room capable of movement flinch, as if you drew your fist towards them.
Oh. I'll just be like, not hold up my hands like surrender, but like I'll hold up my hands of like, I'm not here to harm. And I'll take another step into the room and just kind of see what's going on.
Okay, and as you walk in, they give you a wide berth as you walk through. They look suspiciously at you, but they continue to lay aid to their brethren, while keeping you in the corner of their eye.
Can I do like an Arcana check? Like, see what's going on?
I would prefer
medicine.
Or a medicine, as you walk
in, you do notice that gathering around that shrine that Valen had, and you get the sense that this is one thing you do recognize is prayer, is a religious ritual.
Okay.
Throughout the realms, this is one thing that kind of stays consistent.
Yeah.
So if you want to do a religion check.
Okay, I can do a religion check. R. There we go. How about an 8?
Unfortunately, you don't recognize the statue, but you do recognize the ritual.
Okay. Just like this cycle of prayer.
Yeah. As they step up to the shrine of this female with this basin full of water, you see that they mumble something under their breath before they scoop the water out into these ladles, and then they go and they distribute it amongst the needy.
Okay. And the needy being like these people who are basically petrified, more or less?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just scooch a little closer to the statue and just take a look. Like, is the basin, does it look like water, or is it like, I know it's a liquid. It looks like water, though.
It's just similar to everything else in this place. The water seems to seep through the ceilings, that they drip from the stalactites, and miraculously this water drips onto the head of the statue and then falls like tears across its face and into this basin.
Okay. Can I look at like I'm assuming this is one of the petrified. Right here.
Uh-huh.
Can I take a closer look?
Yeah. Do an investigation.
Oh, dice. Please don't screw me over. Why did I go in here? I have the shittiest stats. Why did I do this?
It's perplexing to you what exactly the ailment is.
Okay.
But they almost seem unblinking. The brain, the breath, the movement of the chest, inhaling and exhaling is very faint.
Okay.
Oh wait, they're not stone petrified. They're just like
frozen.
Oh shit! I was over here like, oh yeah, they're all stone.
No, they're think Basilisk and Harry Potter.
Okay.
No.
Right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
Any Harry Potter references? Yep.
Fair enough.
We have a.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I mean,
So there was the word petrified and statues, and I was just like, yes, everything is stone. Got it.
nobody's tried to kill me yet, so I'm gonna at least try and talk to one of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll just come to this person. I don't know. It's just whoever's closest to the statue.
Right. You see a noble elf standing next to one of the commoners, both of which well, no. So he has full mobility as he continues to like mumble under his breath, head bowed in silent prayer. As he gets ready to gather up the water, he turns to you with his ladle full of this liquid. Aye, sister.
Peace be with you.
There's not much peace here. I see you've not fallen ill.
Not yet.
That's good. Did you come to lend a hand?
I can if you tell me what's going on. I can try.
Oh. My brethren... we'd been captured. It seems as though some of my kin had been taken deeper into the caverns and returned to us like this.
Ooh.
It is a miracle that we're able to find Our Lady here, who heeds our prayers and keeps our kind alive. Unfortunately, it's not a cure. It just keeps death at a distance.
You excuse my ignorance. What is the name of your lady?
Aldith, the goddess of waterfalls. It's...
Get that spelling, please.
That's a pretty name, Eldest.
I like it.
I like it.
Okay.
She's old, and this shrine had been built to her eons ago, but she still listens.
If you'll allow me, would you mind if I try to help?
Please. Please do.
All right. Well, I'll say I'm gonna try lesser restoration on the closest frozen person to me.
So I guess the question becomes: is this considered paralyzed versus petrified?
Well, I mean, and this is all I have. Like, I don't have greater restoration, so I'm gonna try what I have.
Right. And where you try to do lesser restoration, you see this noble bow his head. We have tried that, unfortunately. Our mage has tried everything he can with the magic he has prepared to heal our sick, but the only thing we've been able to do is prolong their lives with the offerings of Alda.
Forgive me for doubting your mage's wisdom.
No. We take no offense. Any help is appreciated. And he kind of wanders past you to go deliver this ladle of water to one of the commoners who remains petrified.
Okay. I don't want to prevent him from doing that, but I will follow alongside him and ask just one more question. Would you mind if I took some of the water in case as we go further down we encounter what your brethren have?
It isn't. I apologize. This is rude, but it isn't the water.
I understand.
It's the prayer. It's the offering.
I understand.
It's the belief. But no, it's not ours to keep.
Thank you. And I'll go to the basin, and I mean, she's not my deity, so like I'll just say a quick prayer to Eldith. And just scoop using an empty potions bottle. And just kind of seal it and then put it back down into my bag.
Okay.
I haven't seen from when I was looking. Is there any other room, like doors in there, or is it just go back out?
I can glance around as I leave. From what I can literally see on the map, no. If you would rather, Viva, if you'd rather me just roll a perception.
I'm staying where I am. I'm asking for you to describe the place without me moving. I can move my character into the room, or you can just.
It's literally like it's a kind of square.
You
it's can't like the Tetris Z.
Okay.
Like there are no visible outlets from what I can see.
All right, no problem.
And I can roll perception and either support or retract my statement if you would like, Viva.
It's up to you if you're gonna make that statement before leaving the room.
I was asking that as like a viewer
but
this
you can't ask that. That's the
a viewer watching the show and everything like that. Like, is there like anything?
I mean, I can.
I don't see it on the. I can move my character into the room.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, I can.
I'm just trying to say because like I don't see her on the stream.
I know.
I can.
But you.
I can roll.
But I'm saying is you want to use that information to determine something, right? You want that information. So even though you're trying to say that you're looking for that information as a viewer, you want to use that information as a player. So you either have to wait for her to leave the room or you have to enter the room.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for her to leave the room, but I was just like, yeah, she just said.
Okay, so then.
I mean, I can take a quick look around as I'm walking out.
I don't want my question to like to change your original plan.
I mean, I had assumed that Valen had already kind of taken a look around and seen everything, so
yeah,
I was just walking in to get the final piece of what we had decided we needed.
And I just don't have a view in the room, so I just assumed that like if it's just a dead end room, then
it's literally how Viva described it earlier. Just after filling up the bottle and I pass the elf I've been talking to, I'll thank him and basically say if we could find a cure for your brethren, we will come back and help you.
And just nods his head in approval. Somber as it may be, as you head back out of the room and into the hallway where you find the rest of your party.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're gonna end it tonight.
Dork.
Cool.
Loving the visual of the statue. Very beautiful, gothic, all the good things.
Yeah, I think if I could just give one tip is you guys, if you're gonna your approach of like one in, everything is like one person make a movement and stuff. It in the last couple dungeons and stuff, I don't think it pays off as well as you guys think. I know you guys are trying to be very careful that you guys aren't ambushed or die, but I think more than anything it just prevents you guys from role playing, discovering things.
Yep.
I think
That's fair.
I don't think
it's hindering more than
I get why you guys are being so careful, but I think you guys just end up missing a ton of stuff being too careful. Which, take that how you want, but like some of these encounters end up playing like super slow because if everybody's peeking around a door or whatever, we send one person in invisible, then they sneak out, then we send one person in. It just makes it
boring.
Well,
yeah, I mean, we're going off of the information given. It's like there's statues and there's.
Well,
like, all right, is this a?
It's not that. It's not that. I can only give so much information when only one person goes in. So you only have one viewpoint, and you only have one conversation, and you only have like one interaction, and then you wait for that interaction to end. For then a discussion happens, and then you decide to send like one more thing in. I think we've missed rooms, we've missed side quests, we've missed things like that, and you guys can continue to play like that, but I don't want this to be the only experience when there's other things that could be happening. So I get why you guys I get why you're playing, and I feel like you guys almost play it like a video game. Like, all right, like you do checks. You hop into a room, hop out. You gauge the danger, then get out. But Terry's snoring. You know.
My neck is bending because I'm
just
lying
kidding.
down.
I'm just kidding.
Man, trying to sleep pass by me.
But it's up to you. I just want this. Like I'm not criticizing because like regardless, we're still having fun. We've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I will say, and again, I get why we're playing like this. Even more so, we now have years invested in these characters. No one wants to play off the handle, but where in the past everybody was reckless, and then we got checked. I think now we swung like way over to super safe, and it's and I guess all I'm saying is you almost are playing it too safe, and you guys may be missing out on some fun. Sure. If you guys want to find like a nice medium ground, I'm saying it is safe to find a medium ground to lay off the brake, put a little bit more gas on it. I think you guys are going to be fine. In the past where I'm not even close to killing you guys, and I used to be upset. Now I'm just like, okay, Grandma, fucking get out of the fast, move over.
We get it. Yeah, I get
it.
Yeah.
For your own fun, if you guys want to explore a different route and maybe be a little bit more adventurous, let's go ahead and do that. Mm-hmm. But if everything is let's do our best to avoid it, or let's sneak in every little room.
Do our best to survive it.
It's gonna be a fucking crawl.
A drag. It's gonna be a drag. Yeah,
it'll be a real crawl.
I get it.
So it's up to you guys. But as long as you're having fun, I mean, it's all about how you play it, and I know you guys are playing it to survive.
No, I think it's about time. So like you said, we've been playing these characters for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And in the past, for the last a year and a half, we've been trying to just follow the flow of the story. And I think it's a good timing for we as players to trying to utilize the character's strengths to the max of their ability, mm-hmm. and just see what happens.
Right. Because a lot of it is like, what if we move this slow and conserve whatever? You guys are just playing super safe, and you don't have to. Is all I'm saying. You don't have to. You guys mm-hmm. You guys can step on the gas if you want to.
All right, we'll end the stream here. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.